Welcome back to Numbers on the Board.
Numbers on the board, yes.
Regular season is finally over, man. We got play-in today, tomorrow. We got postseason this weekend. This is about to be amazing. Before we get into the episode, I want to say happy birthday to my best friend. Happy birthday to the greatest, Avery Kendall Beecham, hitting the big old 3.
Happy birthday, Avery.
In her Allen Iverson era, man. It's been a blessing to watch you grow.
I liked how the sign at her party said 3-nager.
Shout out to whoever came up with that.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool.
It went by fast, didn't it?
Yeah, it went by fast. And
Fast and slow.
you saying that somebody that see her twice a month?
No, because I remember when you had sent that screenshot yesterday, and I had told Dana about it, and she just turned 3, right?
For reference, Pierre, for her birthday, because she got everything, she was like, I'm just going to get him a gift card. So we took her to Target and said, get what you want. And then we got back and we used to open it up. That's when she said, I miss Pierre.
And so I was telling Dana, and Dana was like, she just turned 3, right? I'm like, yeah. And she like, man, I don't know why I feel like 5. And I don't know if it's because how Avery act or I don't know, but it does feel like just 3. So I don't. That's why I said fast and slow, because I remember when she was in Suzanne's stomach at the reveal, and now it's like she's 3, but at the same time, 3-nager is perfect because she does act older.
Yeah.
She's going to be a great big sister. Great big sister.
I know she will.
How y'all feeling today?
Feeling good.
I felt like he was going somewhere.
I thought he had something to say.
Usually it is a little bit more.
I thought he had
Yeah.
some
I'm feeling
dialogue
good.
as to why he was feeling good.
Yeah, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good.
Ain't no reason to feel bad.
Okay.
Ain't no reason to complain nowadays.
Oh yeah, hey man, that's a great way to put it. I'm feeling good, feeling real good. I got my wine yesterday from the big fella.
It took him long enough.
Took him a long
It took
time.
me
I forgot all about it until I opened up my cabinet and seen I ain't had that many wine options.
He said, D Mills, when you gonna bring my wine? He said, I ain't even been to Cooper Hall.
The
I
craziest
ain't even been
analogy
to
I
Cooper's
ever
Hall.
heard. I've never lost a bet and be like, I ain't got your money because I just ain't went and got it. I'm gonna get your money whenever I stop
When
by
I
the
gave
bank.
KB that money, I legit went to the
You
bank.
you go out of your way to This man said I just ain't been to Cooper's Hawk. Well, no shit.
No plan to go either.
What the hell?
Honestly,
I ain't never heard that analogy before.
I didn't have many plans of going. I wanted to.
You
but
had no plans to pay.
Sometimes you just got to pay your debts,
Hey.
man.
That's what we're saying.
Chicago Bulls leather jacket is clean, brother.
Thank you. I
With the
appreciate
White
that.
Sox hat, with the Concords, you Chicago'd up.
I'm Chicago.
Was that a Bear shirt on there?
No, just a plain white tee.
Okay.
You know,
It got the invisible ink that say,
Hey,
go
Chicago,
Caleb,
man.
go.
You blew my mind this morning.
what I do?
Portillo's is open this early?
Yeah. They released a breakfast menu today.
Oh,
wow.
shit. Tell me about that. What was on the back? Let me Google this.
There was only 5 locations that have it, and Elmhurst was the closest one to have it. Either that or I went to Tinley Park, and I just didn't.
What's on the menu? Like, what is?
It's a pepper and egg
Terrible.
on a French
Just
French
terrible.
roll. Then they have a bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant.
Yes.
They
What
have
did you have?
I tried all the breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, damn.
So I had the pepper and egg, the bacon, egg, and cheese on the croissant, and then I also had they have a Polish with eggs and cheese.
Yes, they do.
And then I also had the loaded hash brown bowl.
Okay.
Yep.
Damn.
Loaded hash browns scrambled.
Yes.
Scrambled eggs, crispy hash
See, I
browns,
eat
bacon,
that
and
much food, I
cheesy
be ready to
cheese
go back to
sauce.
bed.
Well, I just tried.
Yeah, he don't eat the whole thing.
But
He
then
saved for later.
I had a donut, and then
Stan's
I tried
donut.
That donut was bad.
It says
Well, don't spoil your review.
Stan's
I was gonna say,
Don't spoil your review.
And then I also had
I gotta
the
watch
iced
the
coffee.
video.
Right. Okay. And you also dropped. Come on, let's get your promo up, Darrick. You
Oh
also.
yeah. We dropped a new episode of Tag Team Talk today.
There we go.
It dropped. I like to drop it at around 9 o'clock, so that way when y'all on y'all drive to work
Yep.
or going to school or whatever, y'all can get y'all wrestling fix if y'all really need it.
We was talking about this at the party that y'all got to do better at promoting y'all stuff.
I'm streaming tonight. You on schedule 1.
There we go. What you gonna be doing? Selling that pack?
Yeah, man. I
Selling that
got
Austin Reeves?
$100 in the bank and 50,000 cash on me. So I gotta launch.
You sound like a
Damn.
lick.
Yeah.
Sound like a lick.
But I got that file on me too.
Okay.
That is imagine if they did it like they do in real life, where if you get arrested, your cash is taken too. You would be broke because you
You
get
would
caught
be.
all the time.
it would be.
You are pretty bad at the game. Basically, what he said.
He don't play the game. So.
Uh-oh.
I don't get caught when I'm playing.
I'm
though.
telling Mike that one day that we was all playing, I had to put the team on my back, right?
Yeah.
But listen, I wasn't even saying it like that. This dude got so defensive. You should have heard him in there.
Oh, I think I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was there.
What? You ain't do it all by yourself that we hit. I'm like, Mike, I never said that. I just said that. I'm not saying I
He
did
was
that.
insinuating that he did majority of the work.
KB was there too, I believe. I
Was
did
I?
not insinuate that.
I don't
I
know.
literally started off by saying, I can't say I did everything by myself, but
Yeah.
we wouldn't have got X and Y and Z because you had that new pack and he said when nobody hitting the phone. Then he gonna say,
That
oh
shit was
yeah,
one
he
day.
did. That was a big day. That was a big day.
That shit was one day.
That was a big day. Cause what he like to do is he'll play when ain't nobody playing, which is fine. But then he got 8 books touching my shit. I come back, it's all discombobulated machines that we bought the warehouse. I say, hey, you got the right, I got the left. I come back, left machine ain't working. Is he assigned it, moving
I think
shit,
that
touching
I went to
shit?
Terrence's world and he's like, yeah, this cauldron glitched out. So I think it's some actual bugs in the game that's still
It's
The
definitely
machines
some
could stop
bugs.
with the online
No,
worlds.
if you just cross contaminate shit, it'll start bugging out.
Or your packagers will just steal your work, which happened to me in my world.
You know,
I don't trust them like the mixers or whatever.
the one thing that pissed me off, I'm trying to give a girl a sample. I gave her 20.
Oh, yeah, you did
Instead
say
of
that.
taking one, I
That's
gave
when
her
you gotta
20.
try to rob her back though.
But you know they walk off, so once you give them a sample, they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna call back." But you're right. I should have been like, put that iron to her clothes, like I'm trying to put a wrinkle out of it.
Bro, that game, when you kill somebody in that game, you can't rob them no more.
Yeah,
If
you
they
gotta pick up
added
their
that,
body.
that shit would be over with.
So be sure to tune in to Mike's Stream Tag Team Talk with D Mills and Reese. A small ball Kenny Beecham later this week and teed up as well.
Yeah, I think we have a Michael Jordan on this week.
Yeah. At
We
the
also-
restaurant?
B Jordan though.
You
B
meeting him at the
Jordan.
restaurant?
No, he's meeting me here with the restaurant food.
Oh yeah, that's a real one.
Also,
Yeah.
follow me on Twitch at @dmilly_.
Okay, now it's too
Yeah,
much.
you don't stream.
Because we streaming WrestleMania this weekend.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
there you go.
Okay.
All right, stream
Now you
wrestling.
got
Speaking of Jordan, y'all seen that Jordan shimmy? Y'all ain't seen that clip? If it's that girl doing that move and she's and
Yes,
he walks in,
yes.
he's like, "Where'd you learn that move?" She's like, "Oh, the Jordan shimmy."
Signature shimmy.
You never
She
seen
did
that?
that shit so slow.
Bro, it's so bad.
It's from a TV
It's
show.
so bad.
Okay.
Jordan signature.
He's like, where'd you
shimmy.
learn that?
Shit was so weak, bro.
Leave a like on the episode, subscribe. All postseason long, we're going to be giving y'all top-end predictions like Bulls and Foe. Before we get into talking about play-in and people getting fired and people getting hired, let's drop the mic.
A new generation of Toyota drivers are here, and they want you to know one thing. You can't stop my drive. Toyota, let's go places. Today's Drop the Mic presented by Toyota. Which team's future depends on this postseason? Speaking about getting like fired and making changes and stuff like that.
So that it really depends on what they success in the postseason. Oh,
I'm gonna say every team, besides like maybe the Celtics, but even then maybe them. If any team in these playoffs, and we ain't even gotta include the playing teams. If any of them okay, every team besides the Pistons, because I'll put it in this perspective: if my Knicks lose in the first round, we would have to go in the offseason and do something about that. If the Nuggets lose in this first round, even if they win, damn near there. If the Rockets lose prematurely, they would feel like, oh man, we maybe got to go get Kevin Durant.
I
if
think the Rockets is a
Timberwolves
good one.
lose,
I think more so it's not just like every team gonna make a move. It's like, are we gonna make a drastic move that like kind of changes the direction of what we're doing? So like, for example, we know the Lakers are gonna probably circle around the edges if they find their way out of the playoffs like real soon. They're just gonna try to circle out the edges because they believe Luka's gonna do his thing and LeBron gonna do his thing. Like they're gonna keep that intact. But is there any other teams that are like, this might be the last go around for this?
It's
team?
Denver for me.
Yeah. For me too.
For me. Hypothetically, if they lose to the Clippers in that first round, with them already firing the coach and them already firing Calvin Booth, the writing is on the wall that they're trying to make some type of adjustments in a very early first round exit, even second round exit probably. You got to think about the futures of pretty much everybody on the roster not named Nikola Jokic.
I'm keeping my same answer with almost everybody. I think the Lakers are excluded because they made the big move with Luka. But I mean, the Grizzlies dropped down to the play-in. if they get bounced out in a 5-game series.
That's
or
my
just in the
favorite
first
Kevin
round,
Durant spot, by the way.
it's like boom. Because there's so much parity, every team is just feeling like they're that one move away. So if they don't meet their expectation, and we already seeing the panic of like, hey, it's April, fire the coach.
I want to also,
We don't care how many injuries they had to grit, they fire the coach. So
for Milwaukee's situation is interesting too because Dame is hurt. So you automatically kind of have like that running back type feel, but they don't have a running back roster.
they also can't have that mentality, unfortunately, because the last 3 or 2 playoffs was that running back because we didn't have Giannis. Now we don't have Dame.
We didn't have Middleton once.
Yeah, so like if they keep doing that, they'll find themselves in a Philadelphia type landscape because at some point you got to be like, all right, we can't keep giving out as much as you want to give them an excuse. It's a legit excuse, but it's just like, you know.
You also got to think: is the front office okay with them consistently just being okay? Like they're gonna probably always with the Giannis on the roster, they're gonna be a 5th to 4th seed every year, just because he's that damn good. So like, is the front office okay with that, or like they might genuinely be like that might be a success just because they getting that playoff money. Owners they genuinely only care about the revenue. I don't know what the owners of the Bucks.
I don't know if you're gonna be okay with that because he's not gonna be okay with that. I think he's expressed that.
Yeah, that is true.
And you went out and you got Damian Lillard. Now you went out and got Kyle Kuzma. So it ain't like the team is cheap. It ain't like it's just Giannis and a bunch of role players we washing and rinsing. This is a team that, like, at the deadline, we was like, what can they do? They got no money.
Or no draft picks. That's a big reason why they literally – and they have no valuable assets.
That's why they had to trade AJ to the Wizards to make that trade happen because he was the only thing of legitimate value of being 19, 20 years old. The problem is all of this, like, we're injured, so let's run it back, is like fool's gold.
It is.
Because with the health of Damian Lillard, does anybody here expect them to win a championship this season? No, right? Oh, well, maybe Darrick did. He thought about it a
They'll
little
have,
longer than the rest of
they'll have
us.
a stronger chance, but I'm not.
Yeah, obviously
have a stronger
they're a better
chance.
team. But like when if they're going against a Boston in the conference finals, we're all taking Boston, right? Even like, so it becomes like this fool's gold mentality. You're probably gonna have the best player in every single series because he's Giannis Antetokounmpo. But after that, it becomes different. Team scheme.
And that's just not a good feeling. Like, of course you want to have the best player, but we shouldn't just be picking the Bucks up here because they have Giannis and we're just gonna go off the back of Giannis. Like,
Hey,
these teams
sometimes
need
that's
a better
enough,
roster.
though. For sure they need a better roster, but
Right.
sometimes that is enough.
Do y'all think that this could also be a downside of being a small market team? That like realistically, it just might be hard for them to attract like free agents to come and play in Milwaukee.
Not necessarily because for a small market team, they went out and got one of the top guys in the entire league in Dame.
But they traded for Dame. He was already under contract. Like I feel like for them to have to really hit, they're gonna have to draft well, develop talent. And
What
then
team
also
is
make
just
trades.
getting on? What team is not trading?
Also,
though?
these
No, I'm
names
just
don't even
saying-
hit the market like they
free
used
agency
to.
doesn't
People,
really
that's
exist
what I'm
people
anymore.
get traded, people get extended, sign and trade. Like people are rarely just like we're gonna straight up.
And
just
they've
sign
also
them.
never had the opportunity to because they've always been a team that's pretty expensive. So they had to
Yeah.
make their changes with trades and everything. It's never been a time where like we got a max spot and we talked to like the Bulls talked to Carmelo and Carmelo went elsewhere. Milwaukee's never really had that.
Yeah.
We're seeing less and less of that anyway.
Signing trades are more happening way more for star players versus star players just walking in free agency.
But even like not even just like star players, just like I'm just talking about just quality role players.
I mean, they've done a pretty good job around the like Gary Trent Jr., Malik Beasley last year. Like again, they're a really expensive team, so they'll never have $15 million to give to some role players.
They also did a good job early on, to where they didn't have to overwhelmingly do that. So they went out and got Brook Lopez. That was that. Without him, they don't win the championship that they had. Then the team was Brook, Giannis, Middleton, Holiday, and who am I forgetting?
Bobby Portis.
Bobby Porter started at the power forward. I thought he came off the bench.
No.
He came out the bench.
What was the
but he
championship lineup? It was Drew Holiday,
PJ Tucker played a ton.
PJ Tucker, Chris Middleton, Giannis. We'll just rock with that. But like even a PJ Tucker,
That's actually crazy. I can't remember who else was on the court.
they had like a revolt. Pat Connaughton,
Yeah.
Bryn Forbes was on a team. I think at
I
one
was
point.
I was
in time.
thinking
was.
Bryn Forbes, but I don't
Dante
think he
started every game.
started.
Dante,
Dante,
so when
okay.
but he was hurt on a championship run. That's why we don't.
Yeah, I'm looking
remember.
at regular season. He started
So-
66 of 66.
I don't remember who was in the championship starting lineup, but regardless, they did a really good job of having the role players in my opinion. You're not gonna get them all,
No, you're not gonna get all of them.
but for them to be a small market team, I thought that they did really well.
Yeah, PJ did start in the finals.
Okay.
Oh, he did. Okay.
33
PJ
minutes.
Tucker.
He was a high quality role player at that
Hell
time.
yeah.
He was the premium guy. So
Now he getting PT with the Knicks.
No, he not. Last game of the season when nobody played, that don't count. Last 2 games, that don't count.
I'm just happy to see him on the court.
Yeah, no. He had what, 2 threes in that one game?
Is there like a current generation PJ Tucker? Dude averages like a couple points, but you know his impact.
Gerson Yabusele on his way.
He a better
Nah.
score. He a better score.
The reason I say
He's
that is
a-
because they spend came to the league, then went overseas for like 5 years, came back, and is going to fill all the holes. And they like girthy.
Is he gonna play till he 40?
I don't know.
Is he gonna collect shoes?
No.
He don't seem like a shoe collector. He might be.
Now, there's no modern day PJ Tucker. No.
Yeah, no, because
Except for, I guess PJ Tucker's the modern day PJ Tucker because he still exists.
Gary Payton III.
he's a guard though.
And he's scared to shoot.
He ain't no
I
guard.
ain't never seen PJ scared to shoot in
He
his
ain't no
spot.
guard. I don't know what
He
he
in a
is,
guard
but he ain't no
body.
guard.
yeah, he ain't never starting no action for the Warriors.
Yeah, he is.
To some extent, could it be like a Lou Dort?
Oh hell
Now,
no.
Lou Dort's ceiling is
Absolutely
just
not.
too. He's way more. PJ
Absolutely
legitimately is a corner sitting defensive
I know.
player. Lou Dort will set the screens. He's
PJ Tucker is almost,
controlling.
he's much more than that too, though. He is
He
like a
is.
hard
I was just
soul
thinking
physical.
body-wise.
He punked dudes.
Yeah.
He was playing bigger than his height. He was like 6'4", 6'5".
Playing
Lou
center.
Dort wasn't playing no center.
Yeah.
Didn't he have a whole season where he attempted 5 shots at the rim and the rest were just corner threes? It's like that's the PJ.
Hey, he
Tucker
knew his
thing.
job.
He knew his job, and
I
he's still doing it.
love that. I made a build in 2K24 of that. I was just like, I'm gonna be PJ Tucker. I'm gonna punk whoever y'all player is. I'm gonna get on that glass and I'm gonna
6'4"
shoot
max strength,
and I'm gonna
rebound,
shoot
and
corner
legend.
threes.
Yeah. Let's get you off the mic though. Let's get into some of the changes that we've seen throughout the recent NBA because we did see the Pelicans fire David Griffin, and now it is official they replaced him with Joe Dumars. With the fire of David Griffin, it is known that they plan on keeping Willie Green around, so we don't have to worry about Willie Green being next. And yeah, Joe Dumars is back making teams, which is I don't know. Of course, we always want to give it a chance. He did an amazing job building some teams in the early 2000s. But the end of Joe Dumars' career, that was when we saw Josh Smith play with Moose and also play with Drummond. All 3 of them big-ass dudes in a court together.
Yeah, that was also Van Gundy too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ben,
Van Gundy had a lot of.
No,
say in
because
that.
Joe Dumars got fired and Van Gundy came in and gave John Lure all that damn money.
All that money, yeah.
And that was basically one of the last times we saw a coach.
He
have
gave
the
him money, Langston
responsibilities of
Galloway
that.
money.
He was trying to save his job any way he could.
He
And got
was
fired from
doing
both.
anything.
He had 2 positions, got fired from both. But Joe Dumars is back. And now everybody's speculating, like, okay, what does this mean? What type of vision can Joe Dumars have for the Pelicans opposed to what David Griffin does? Does this mean that Zion might be available, which is some rumblings like in January before Zion really start to take off? This team is kind of a mess when you think about it. Next season, they're not going to have DeJounte Murray for at least the beginning of it with him recovering from his injury. Maybe the same thing with Trey Murphy, who tore his shoulder. So they got a lot of work to do, and I don't even know where they start.
Yeah, I mean, you pretty much as the new GM coming in there as Joe Dumars, you have to pretty much look at next year as it's like another bridge year. Like you're essentially gonna have to wait a whole another year in order to have your roster, and you got to really sit down and decide: do you think that next year after this year is it gonna be worth the wait? Do we have to just bite the bullet now and do this like reset, or do we have to just wait it out, let Zion and CJ and them roll out here and just hoop, and maybe we have a play-in spot. Maybe we're good enough to be in a play-in if Zion's able to play consistently throughout the year. I wonder if Joe Dumars is also going to be someone who doesn't have Zion playing back-to-backs. Like, is that something that he's going to implement? Because I'm pretty sure that's coming from the higher-ups more so than it probably is the head coach. I'm pretty sure everybody is kind of like, we don't want Zion to play back-to-backs. And Zion seems like he wants to play back-to-backs, but he says, I work for the Pelicans. Like, he doesn't have a choice. So I wonder if Joe Dumars is going to allow him to be somewhat free and just let him play.
You brought up some good points. I think that if I was Joe Dumars getting his job, the first thing that I would figure out is that situation. Because if you figure out the Zion situation and how you want to attack it and go about it, regardless of what the past looked like, because you just will never know.
Yeah.
If you figure that out, then I think that this team is in a good direction.
Yeah.
You figure that out, you're going, and then the next step that is really the make or break thing in this whole picture is the draft pick that you get. Wherever they get in that draft could be a game changer. If you get in that top 3, if you get in that top 2, that's a big difference from being, 6 or 7. That could be a big curveball and everything. So
I ran one tankathon. First overall pick, New Orleans Pelicans.
I'm just saying. That changes the
can,
entire
yeah.
landscape of everything that they have going on. So I think you figure those 2 things out, and I think there's some upside in next season. You come off of a season like this, I know they've had their injury-riddled history, but they parted ways with Brandon Ingram, who was a part of that a little bit. I think Herb Jones is still a guy that when he's back, you can count on. I think there are some pieces here.
Definitely a loaded,
keep
talented team.
Keep it afloat
They have so much talent.
for when the other
think
guys come in.
That's a really good point, and that's kind of what I was gonna get into. Is that for this job is probably this situation is probably one of the craziest in the league because nobody wants to kind of give up and start just trading away a team that we know has the talent to be just somewhat decent. Like we really never still seen this team at full strength.
Yeah.
You don't
So-
want to be the team to trade away a Z and then he blossoms to the player
But I
that you
think
thought he could be.
I think it's gonna have to be like that. Like you're gonna have to throw something at the wall and hope that it sticks because this team is gonna probably have you wondering for a couple of years before something actually comes through.
I think that's the most dangerous thing that they could do is throw some shit at the wall. I think you really have to be patient, especially because it's going to be Joe Dumars' first year. I don't think he has to come in and do too much. It really is going to depend on that pick. If you get that proper pick, I ain't saying they got to be number 1, but if you get the proper pick and you can put that pick with Zion, Yves Missy, Herb Jones, C.J. McCollum, you're going to have enough early on to not be as poor as you were. Now, if the Zion shit starts to happen again, then you just gotta eat that. But again, to get a solid pick, to have Zion looking like he's in the best shape that we've seen him in the NBA, to have Trey Murphy playing at the level he was before his injury, to have Herb Jones all defensive, I don't think you can throw shit at the wall because you're one better year of being there. You got rid of Brandon Ingram. It ain't like you're bringing back the same band. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta, because there's no way they have an injury-riddled season like this year again.
Hey, we said
There's no way.
I'm
There's no way.
not far
There's
from
no way.
Lewis. I'm not gonna.
They've
couch.
had injuries, but
But
they
I
have
think
never
you do
had
bring
injuries
that-
like this. This was
It's just-
outlandish.
It has always been the top guy. It
Yes.
has always been Z or always been
This
Brandon.
year was DeJounte twice, the first game of the year, and then he did his Achilles.
Herb
Zion,
Jones' shoulder.
Herb Jones,
Jordan
Jordan Hawkins, Brandon Ingram, Yves Missy went down. I'm forgetting one more person.
I don't know.
Trey Murphy.
Trey Murphy, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And some of them are just like straight up freak accidents. The Trey
Yeah,
Murphy
yeah.
thing, just going for a loose ball and got wrapped up in it was a SAR. What was it? Man, I think it was against the Pistons. I think it was a SAR Thompson. And now he won't be able to work out for an entire offseason again.
Yeah.
For the second year in a row. He's just going into the regular season blind.
then Jose Alvarado got in, then he got hurt. That's why they was getting Alfred
I
Payton
was gonna
and
say,
stuff and
Alfred
stuff.
Yeah.
for.
We
So-
love
Shout out to
Alfred Payton,
Antonio
but-
Reeves, man. Got a lot of burn this season.
Brandon Boston was killing. I think he got hurt. So I just, again, I'm not saying that they're not going to have injuries, but I don't think that you're going to have that same type of season where literally everybody imaginable on the roster missed some time. I also like the addition of Kelly Olynyk. I like the overseas big fella who shout out to
Carlo
Huge Jazz.
Makovic.
Huge Jazz told me about him before he even played. He was like, we just got this guy looking for him, watching he
Ain't
start
nobody
playing.
laugh at dude's name.
Huh?
Nobody laughed at the guy's name you said.
I didn't say it the way it's Huge Jazz, but I put Jazz. I made it say you can hear the J. But shout out to my boy Huge
He could be
Jazz.
one of my names
He's a
on,
very,
Call of Duty.
very, very, very big Pelicans fan. He put me on him
Shout out Hugh.
a long time ago. But
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously pieces and bits here. It's just a matter of will Joe Dumars try to be ultra aggressive? Like that can be a recipe for disaster. We see when new front offices come in and they try to build their team immediately, and then it gets real messy. And yeah, it can.
the
get bad
only
quick.
reason I'm going with my mindset is because I feel like if you're coming with that approach, you probably would clear house with Willie Green. If you're willing to keep the coach,
Yeah.
that means you're willing to pump the brakes a little bit. And I think in order to really have a clear vision, you got to be a little patient with this group. Because like you said, you come in there moving too fast, you trade Zion, and next thing you know, Zion played 74 games, and you You ever seen that meme of the two dudes going for the diamond? The one dude turn around. He was one hit away.
It's usually
one hit away from
don't
the
be
diamond.
gambling. It's usually gambling.
Don't be that. Don't be. It's a parlay. Don't. Right. You want more parlay from it? That's how they get you. But you don't want to be that GM. And
But on the flip side of that, I'm sure there are people that can convince themselves that Zion will never have the season that we want him to have. And maybe this is the highest his value will be in recent history after him playing the last 30 games and looking amazing before they shut him down.
this is the highest his value will be.
Maybe.
I think the highest his value
I've been
will be
saying
was to put
that.
it
Like I think that
the
it's
man just played every
I think it's a
4
good
games.
idea because you just give the problem to somebody else. And I know it just sounds crazy, but like you've had this problem for X amount of years, and we could let the new regime or whatever we could let Joe Dumars do his thing. But
So let me ask
I
you
think
this.
it's-
I'd rather
last
just dump this
offseason-
problem on somebody else.
You
man.
put
I
Zion
really would.
Williamson on the block. What are you getting for this quote unquote problem?
Patrick Williams, Nikola Vucevic.
Exactly.
You can sure get some
I'm
pieces
keeping him.
back.
Like what? Give me something. You got to give me something. You can't just tell me that you're giving a problem away, but
I
we're
don't
going to
have
get
nobody
something
else.
back.
Teams will give you 3 to 4 first-round picks. for
Get the
Zion.
fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
I think they could
The
get
dude
3.
just played 30 games.
The year before it was 72.
And he's referring to it as
Yeah,
I don't think it's.
I'm giving away this problem.
But that's just that's an in-house thing. I'm not letting it known
Well,
that
well,
he's a. It's just I'm shopping.
It's,
it.
it's not an in-house thing. We
It's
all
public.
know.
yeah.
we
what
see
do
the
you mean
games
I'm not
played.
letting you know. The dude just played 30 games.
What I'm saying is like, I'm saying that's my mindset. I'm not letting it know that we're just trading Zion because we don't think he could be that player.
But what we're
I'm
saying
that,
is
like,
so
we're-
public information that if the minute you make him available,
Yeah,
we
you
know
can't.
why.
You can't.
But they've been
pull
playing
the
the
wool
game. They've
over
been
our
doing
eyes.
this shit where they trade. They're doing the thing over and over again where they're saying, well, he's on the block. He played good. Nah, we're going to keep him. He's back on the block since he's been hurt. It's like they're doing this back and forth thing.
yes.
That's why it can't be no hidden thing.
You can get a team to be desperate.
Yeah. Some team would definitely take a chance on Zion and mortgage some of their future. I could see that.
You have to give me a team. I don't see it.
What about the
Like
Heat?
The teams that's in position, I don't see the Heat doing that.
The Heat don't have
look-
a future draft picks to trade anyway. They traded them all to get Terry Rozier on the fucking roster.
That's
That's nasty.
That's crazy. When you say it, yeah, that's nasty. But yeah, I don't know
I
exactly
saw
what
somewhere
team.
going Detroit with Zion. I didn't see the trade, but I was just like Detroit. But
I mean,
like,
they have the contract matches in their own draft capital to maybe make that work. But I guess it depends on what the hell happens to Detroit over the next month, right? What
do
that
they
first
want-
round playoff
do
look like.
they? If you just made the playoffs, you just had the season you had. Is Zion your answer for that team? We're talking. Y'all say
Okay, this is-
desperate teams. You can convince a desperate. They're not desperate.
If you're Langdon, yeah, it depends on what the value is. If you're trying to tell me I'm getting them pennies for the dollar, hell yeah.
Hell
I think
yeah.
most teams are
Now,
interested.
when you say 3-4 first round picks is a starting to conversation, hell no. If I'm the Detroit Pistons, I don't have to do. I'm not that desperate. I'm not that desperate at all.
But if you think about
The Charlotte
pairing-
Hornets are the Charlotte Hornets
No.
going to convince
Please
themselves
don't.
that Zion Williams come through the door is going to change everything.
Everybody injured in that
Fuck
damn
no.
team.
2
yeah,
years
they've
ago. man.
already been so banged up.
The Suns can't get him. The Knicks aren't
thought
going to
about
want
the
him.
Suns, too.
Where
They
is
don't
he
got
going?
shit.
The Spurs don't want Zion Williamson.
I mean, shit, they don't need him.
Right. So where is
Even
he?
though
are we
that-
going back
I
to the
like
fucking
that.
Bulls?
Hey,
Let's go,
no.
baby.
We had the thickest
Oh,
boy and
that-
the
that's
the
slimmest
skinniest
boy.
boy.
Hey,
Yeah.
that shit sound crazy.
Yeah, dude.
No,
Sorry, De'Aaron.
He
Can't work no
he got
more.
him down low. Vic up top.
Little block to block lobs.
You got Trae Young and the Hawks, but they got Jalen Johnson.
Yeah, you talk about desperate. It's like the Bulls, but even then, it's like they don't really care about draft picks like that. But
So
we
at-
don't have nothing on court wise that they would be interested in.
So at that
honestly,
point,
Modest is not in that trade. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
if I'm the
not
Bulls,
trading
so
Modest for Zion right now.
because I'm going to be in your position. If y'all are trading him and you're trading him because in order for the Pelicans to make him available, it would mean that they do not have belief that he would be able to play on the court on a consistent basis, which
some-
means
but-
that other GMs are not going to.
sometimes it ain't even that deep. You think about just new front offices, just want a clean house. This team has been cursed, so be it, for the last 4 years. Whether we love Zion or hate Zion, just starting over fresh, getting somebody in that we want opposed to the opposing regime. Sometimes that's what happens as well.
That's real and that's true. It's just hard to have that mindset when he just played 30 games. And he has the history that he has. And it's been a conversation over the course of his career.
It was such a good 30 games.
You know what I mean? It was.
And he was good last year in the 72 game.
We need to get him on that veganism like Chris Paul. He could play all 82. Thoughts?
I just want to see the brother in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's all I want to see. I just want to see him in the playoffs.
He was
And
so
I just
damn
don't.
close.
All I'm saying is I'm not saying it's impossible for him to get traded. It would be the wrongest thing to do. I'm not saying any of that. But I just don't believe you're going to get the 3-4.
Yeah.
Picks. If he comes back next year and in shape playing and they just want to go a different way because the team still didn't look that good, and then you can get the 3-4.
Kevin Durant might not get 3 to 4 picks this
There we go.
offseason.
He's definitely not getting 3-4. Ain't no Mike. We know he ain't getting 3 to 4. He on the last year of the deal, right?
KD?
Next year is going to be the last year of that deal.
I don't know his contracts
could
off the top of my head.
I believe that's the last year of his deal. How old is he?
37.
37.
And the Suns
Gonna be
are
38 soon.
they're in no position to be telling
There's no
anybody
leverage.
shit.
Yeah, there's zero leverage.
So the
So they
last
got
year,
one more
next
year.
year.
So he's probably gonna do it. He's gonna get traded and probably sign an extension.
Depending on the team, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it seemed like they working together. Or let's get to that next then, because we got 2 pieces of coaching news. Coach Bud ends up getting fired. I think that was the least surprising news. They finished 11th, 36-46 is the final record. And right after that, it says that Kevin Durant and the Suns and Rich Kleiman are going to be working together to find his next home this summer.
I just saw this morning that Bradley Beal felt disrespected by
Mike
Coach
Budenholzer,
Bud.
yeah.
Because he told him to play like Drew Holiday, and Bradley Beal felt like, don't ever tell me to play like another player. And I'm just like, that is kind of the role that they kind of would want Bradley Beal to play, like a Drew Holiday type role. But it's kind of hard to tell.
Opposite player though.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. I think it's kind of hard to tell someone who just averaged
AD Mills,
30.
BPL. Shit just don't make sense.
If
at
that
all.
was the case, you should have told Tyus Jones to be fucking Steve Nash.
Yeah.
If we just doing that, use of Nurkic, B&B. That's just to give everybody a fucking. If they was that easy, then shit, everybody would be good.
Yeah.
Everybody would be good.
They say he lost the locker room very early on.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you can tell they didn't never like they
Not even the
never
same
played
mode
with
of
energy.
player.
yeah. They didn't
never
play
with
for each
energy.
other. They didn't play for coach. They didn't play for shit. It was many times where you watch them play and it's like missed rotation and nobody cared except for Devin Booker.
They were
And then
just-
Devin Booker says something and Coach Bud was like, nah, don't be talking. You talking too much, actually.
Hey,
You too loud.
You too
hey,
loud in this room.
That's
That
when I
was
knew
one of
he
the
ass.
craziest things that I've heard this entire season.
I knew he was out after that.
He told his best player that he was being too vocal.
Yeah.
That doesn't even make sense. Like, usually you hear sometimes be like, he not vocal enough. You want your leader in the locker room to be vocal. That's Devin Booker shit. Like, Devin Booker is the Phoenix Suns. Like, that is literally his. You
But
can't
you want him to get traded.
But you want true. You can't walk around telling him he need to stop talking.
I
That's
just love
how
the
you get your ass
sound of
fired,
that, bro. As a human being, I just love it. That's my shit. Like, yeah, he told me that. Now his ass is jobless because this is my shit.
Hey,
There's
he's
so much
jobless
value in that.
with another $40 million guaranteed.
Hey,
though.
but his ass is over there. They'll be okay. This is a billion. This is a team ran by a billionaire. He'll be okay.
And that billionaire just be doing shit.
Shout out to the Suns though, because I remember I came on here and said, man, they got to get rid of him, and I didn't know if they would because,
They got 3 coaches on payroll that ain't on the
yeah.
roster.
And this is now the second time in Devin Booker's career of going through this. His first stint of his career was Hornacek and Earl Watson, and
Jay Triano.
Jay
Igor.
Triano, yeah, Kokoslav, and
At some point,
He's about to go on his 8th coach in 11 years.
At some point, he's
The
gotta
only
get tired.
consistency he's had was
Monty.
Monty for 3 years. Everything else is every other year. 1 year here, 17 games there.
if it was
Earl
gonna be,
Watson-
Chris Paul damn near his next best head coach.
For real.
if it was ever a
They
year,
said Steve Nash would get that job because man the game.
LeBron going to find another coach.
if it was ever a time to fire a coach after the first year, it's this one. Because now you got some options, boy. You got some options. You got Mike Malone,
But
Taylor
from
Jenkins.
what's his name? Gambo? The beat writer for the Suns. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. He said that they're not going after Jenkins or Mike Malone. That they want to go more of a youthful route.
Okay.
So we'll see what that even looks like. Because last time they went the youthful route, that's when they had Igor.
But that's a
So
good
if
look.
you go-
That's a good look inward though, because
They just had 2 championship coaches get fired back-to-back years.
hey, Igor, his trajectory would have been different if they drafted his boy,
Yeah.
Luka.
Yeah.
That was his boy.
But also, if you go with a youthful coach, wouldn't you want to go with a youthful team?
That
Hey,
might
they
be
trading
preparing
Kevin
for
Durant.
Yeah, they might be
We'll see what that looks like.
That's why I
Yeah.
think it's a good look inward because you got Ryan Dunn, also D Book is still in a.
He's
Was
28.
he 28,
but
29?
Um,
But even then, Matt Ishbia, the way he just be talking to us like we idiots make me think that that's not what they're going to do. When he say that he don't understand why teams rebuild, it's like a slap in the face to everybody else.
he understand now.
He got to understand now because he's paying $100 million to coaches that they don't know roster no more. They ain't got no say in our team future.
He also did the Bradley Beal move. It's like all of the things he didn't understand, I'm pretty sure he really understands. Like no joking, not being funny. It's easy to buy a team and be so, let's get it. Woo!
The off basketball stuff was so good. Lowering the prices of the tickets, lowering the prices of the concessions, giving antennas to everybody that wanted antennas. Like for the people, that's dope. The team building and the decision making is the problem with Matt Ishbia. And guess
Hey.
what? He earned 35%, or they own 35% of the White Sox now. So
I think
wow.
a lot. I think
So
a
we'll see
lot
what
of that
happens.
is going right because of his brother.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it aligns perfectly though. I think you trade Kevin Durant. You fired the coach. I believe James Jones' contract is done in June or July.
His ass should be gone before then.
And then now you bring somebody else in there. You let them hire their coach. They trade Kevin Durant. You get on one accord. That's why I like what Denver did. Don't just fire the coach. No, fire both. That's how football usually does it. Where like you want your GM, coach, and quarterback to be aligned. You don't want to be like the Bears, who we kept Fields, knowing that the front office didn't draft him and wasn't their guy, and now you got to fight. This is all a mess. And then now we got our quarterback, but then we fired the coach. Luckily, we got Ben Johnson, but I like when it's all aligned. Your star, coach, GM.
yeah.
You don't want to have a GM who's defensive-minded and his star is Trae Young. It's like, what the heck? What the heck? He's going to be irritated. You know what I mean? He's going to look for any reason to shake this shit up.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting because they've done a really poor job around the edges, drafting poorly. This year I think they did well, but like
this year
before
they did
this,
really good.
drafting poorly.
What was
bad
they picks
signs.
before this? God bless you. I'm not disagreeing. I
Say it
just can't
again?
remember. What was the picks before this?
I mean, I'm just thinking about the entire Devin Booker era at large.
Did y'all see that clip of
Or them trading the picks away instead of using
that
them.
reporter asking Devin Booker just about his season or whatever? And,
Yes.
and Devin Booker is like, he's answering all the questions, but he's just really down because like the reporter's like, you had these problems all the way in the season. Like, how come you weren't able to address it and fix it? And Devin Booker's like, I don't know. Like,
No,
he's just really sad. Like, you could tell like he's bummed the fuck out about the season.
Oh, you must be talking a different interview. I thought you were
Which one
talking
you
about
talking about?
the dude was being an asshole, trying to fight for an answer.
Oh,
It might
I
be
saw
the
that
same
one.
one.
Yeah, when
It
he
might be the same
he
one.
asked him the same question 7 different times.
Yeah.
How
It-
has the season been? Oh, it's been tough. How it is to lose these games knowing y'all could be winning. Yeah, it's just we just couldn't put it together. Why couldn't y'all put it together? You've seen it. It's been happening all year.
Bro.
You know, it's just a game, and he just kept going on and
Yeah,
on.
I
He
wasn't
was
even-
reaching for that answer.
Yes.
I wasn't even the reporter. I wasn't even focused on the reporter. I was more so just looking at Devin Booker's response because, like you said, the reporter was being annoying with those
I think
questions.
he was trying to be a professional versus being down. Because
But
at any minute, it's like, bro,
but in that moment when Devin Booker just
just trying
got
not
his
to get
head down,
fined.
all I could think about is when people were making fun of the Suns when it was like Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, they dancing and
Working
stuff.
out at the
Vibes
wins.
was high.
Vibes are very high.
Vibes was high, and people want to make fun
dancing
of
in
it.
Nevada with the little kid.
Winners work, baby.
So next time you see teams having fun like that and the vibes is high, leave them alone.
Why don't they do
It
that?
never lasts like that, man.
Well, they
They said they might get cat if we get our ass bounced. KD said his dad and Rich Kleiman wanted him to sign with the Knicks versus the Nets those years ago.
okay.
Didn't KD
they
say
do be getting them
playing
old
for the Knicks
stars.
ain't cool no more?
It ain't cool no more. He'd rather go play for the Nets.
Which he saw the answer of that.
One more bit of coaching news. Chauncey Billups got
Got
a
an
multi-year extension.
Very
Now
good.
that was fucking surprising.
That was surprising.
Didn't
Yeah.
Cronin get an extension too?
Yes, he did.
So boom, aligned. Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
I
if
was-
it's not going in the right direction, they align for sure.
that
It was much better than I anticipated.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ended up putting it together. Second half of the season, I think they had like the 7th ranked defense in the league. So they obviously putting together some type of identity. I saw Blazers fans not in love with this because this is the best coaching pool of free agents that they
Yeah.
can be. And I think we can agree that like a Jenkins or
Mike
a
Malone.
Mike Malone is just a better coach than Chauncey. But who knows if they would even take in that job?
Yep.
So I guess we're gonna have to wait and see.
It's telling though.
what happens.
You said this. So Dumars is keeping Willie Green. The Suns are going in a different direction. They extended Chauncey Billups. It may be something we don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not looking deep. I'm just saying maybe these dudes have a certain
Like
type
a
of team that
yeah.
they're trying to coach.
Oh, I see what you mean.
I'm not coaching the Portland Trailblazers right now because I was just in the in
Right.
the finals. You know, I'll wait for Jason Kidd to get fired. 'Cause
Sometimes
Nico
these coaches do
Harrison
take that year off to just
That too,
let me
yeah.
be with my family. I'm guaranteed this money because I had 3 years left on my contract. Let's chill.
I'll give you a whisper too. I think some guys may be waiting for that Spurs job potentially.
Yeah, I can see that as
Oh,
well.
and I'm-
Because I think both Mike Malone and Taylor Jenkins are definitely going to interview for that job.
Yeah.
So that is the hottest job on the market.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the Blazers probably felt like
No shot at one of my goats, Jason Kidd. I wasn't saying that I would fire you or anything. I just ran with a random team.
We miss you, Pop. It's been a minute, too.
Definitely been a minute. All right, now we can finally start talking about the postseason. Today we got some play-in stuff going on. We got the 7-8 matchups in both conferences starting off with the Orlando Magic and the Atlanta Hawks. How we feeling about this, where the winner goes on to play against the Boston Celtics?
I'm extremely excited for this one. I just think you get a Trae Young-led offense versus a defensive-minded Orlando Magic team that, you know, sometimes can struggle to put up points, but they like to grind out their games. But I think this is going to be a very entertaining game, and I think it could be a sleeper on the card for sure because I think Trae Young can be explosive offensively. And then you got Big Paolo and Franz on the other end that can really both be explosive offensively. So I think this is going to be a good game. I think it's not going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a gritted out type of game. Mm-hmm. And I think this has some really good potential to be a good game. But I think on a winning side, I think I'm more so leaning towards the Hawks. I just think Trae Young in a one-game elimination type style in this type of environment, he's shown that he can get you in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not mad at the pick. I kind of want to go to Hawks too. It's just that when I look at the Hawks, I just don't see who's going to be able to do anything with Paolo in this one game.
Yes.
As much as I like Dyson Daniels, that's not his matchup. So I'm kind of going the Orlando Magic, and I think defensively I can lean on them to do enough to limit Trae Young. Easier said than done, obviously. But I think ultimately I'll give the edge to the Magic in a very, very close game.
That's how I'm feeling too. Like Paolo has dominated the Atlanta Hawks this season. They just don't have an answer. Dyson Daniels is probably going to get the assignment of Franz Wagner again, just like the last time they played against each other. And it's going to be Mo Gay on Paolo, or sometimes it was George Niang on Paolo. You know, they got their history at that free throw line stuff.
The history.
Yeah, one. But like, I just think about that game 7 Paolo had last year against the Cleveland Cavaliers, where I don't remember the exact stat line.
He had like 40-something points.
But it was like using his force, getting to the line, you know, being stronger than his opponent. And Zachary Richase might be tasked with trying to guard him. He's just too thin, too early on for him to be able to contain a guy like Paolo Banchero. So I think I'm leaning a little bit more Orlando Magic for that reason alone. But it's a one-game elimination on two teams that are close to each other, you know? So, like, anything can really happen. But I'm going to take the Orlando Magic in this one.
I'm going to lean towards the Hawks. I think that they'll be able to outscore the Magic just straight up. Like, I think the Magic, as much as Paolo and Franz are going to score, they're going to make everybody attempt to shoot that ball. Like, I don't see how you can walk in there with that game plan that, like, we're going to pack the paint. I know it's a lot easier said than done, but the Magic have struggled to shoot all year. I don't know why we wouldn't go away from that game plan in this.
Yeah. They're the 30th ranked offense for a reason. Like they legitimately like struggle to score the ball.
30th ranked three-point shooting team, too.
Yeah, so in a one-game elimination, you just don't know offensively what you're gonna get. Like that's literally something that you just don't want to. Your offense has to be something that you can just count on, and when it's 30th, it's just not a lot there, bro.
That's what makes the single game elimination so scary, is because it's like I can take some of that into context. I'm going to take some of that in context, but it's like
Anything could happen.
it's that one game.
It's one single
Trae
game.
Young could be 1 for 15 from 3.
Yeah,
This is the one game where that offense could play like the 8th rank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Paolo
saying?
just got 50.
Yeah,
They do
KC
have games where they have put up 100 plus and they look good. but-
KCP decide he want to make 6 threes tonight, and it's like, oh shit, we packed the paint.
So we
'cause-
wouldn't even in
you
this
imagine?
situation you want to do that.
Right.
Exactly.
You wait to game 83 to start hitting threes.
now in a 7-game
Shit don't even
series,
count no more.
7-game series is harder to ask for because you know the true colors of your team is going to show. But
Right.
that one game, man,
I always struggle with trying to like balance what I saw in the regular season in these individual matchups to the postseason. Because like we've made this comparison before. We were fans of a team that dominated the Miami Heat in the regular season, and then we got to the playoffs, and nothing that you saw in the regular season mattered.
Do you think that can be like teams just, I mean, especially a championship team, they're not going to get up as much for that regular season game versus they are going to get in the playoffs or the playoffs. if that makes sense.
It's I mean, in the regular season game, you're not seeing as many on-court adjustments game to game or quarter to quarter. Obviously, teams just play harder because they know the stakes are
Right, we just got off this
higher.
back-to-back. We finna chill out against
Yeah,
this team.
it's a lot of different factors.
Coaches
know-
also aren't going to show their full hand in a regular season game.
Yeah.
My thinking of all of that literally changed because of that.
Of what?
As a not a kid,
The
but as
Chicago
a young
Heat?
adult, watching the Bulls do that to the Heat, and then being like, "Oh yeah,
This
going
our
to,
year, baby."
Yeah, going to school like you saw what we did. This yeah, Rose finna do that." And then the playoffs come and it's a different thing. I remember like having that feeling and then walking away and being like, "Man, that shit don't mean nothing."
Yeah.
I have not since then. I have not given a single fuck about what a team did in the regular season when it's the playoffs.
I think
Also, it was LeBron on the other side, and so like when it came playoff time, he just went to a whole nother level. That's just a different player.
But that's
right.
just the example that we have. I'm trying. I don't remember. It was Bucks versus who? More like, damn. The Bucks had a really bad regular season against a team and then bust their ass in the postseason.
Was it the
was like-
Suns?
Was it the Miami Heat?
It might have been the Heat. It was somebody Eastern Conference for sure, though.
okay.
But yeah, I don't look at like the results, I guess, nowadays, but it's like schematically, like we just mentioned, who's gonna guard Paolo, right? Like some teams just don't match up well that way. But like we gonna get to the season, but like the Pistons dominated the Knicks in the regular season this year. It was at 3-1.
Yeah.
I kind of don't give a fuck when we get to that series. Like I'm
Yeah,
not
I
thinking
don't
about
either.
that 3-1 regular
There's a lot
season
of
thing.
context in there too. I know everybody not
Injuries,
watching.
yeah.
The last game that we just played against them, I tried to rewatch literally last night, and I was like, I can't watch this shit to get nothing from it. The only thing I got from it is that shit I already knew. Isaiah Stewart is gonna be super aggressive with Cat. Cat gonna either have to man up or he's gonna be soft. And then Isaiah Thompson is gonna guard Jalen Brunson. But other than that, like we didn't have
It's like
OG,
who
we
are
didn't
they
have
trying
Hart.
to attack? Like it's just a lot. And
And then I also know Tom Thibodeau is such an old school coach that exactly what Darrick said. I was watching, I was like, why am I watching this? I know Tom Thibodeau is not about to show shit. He not about to show them anything. He about to just say, go hoop. And he not about to reveal nothing. He just too old school. And we didn't have Hart and OG for him to even show anything. You know what I'm saying? And Landry Shamet played good, but I don't think Landry Shamet is playing that much.
he might get a
You feel what I'm
5-minute
saying?
stint, maybe.
PJ Tucker fucking played that game.
Pat Connaughton dropped 40.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah,
back on.
that was
Is he
literally
getting
the
his minutes
last
back?
game of the year, though.
He getting the minutes back?
They gonna give it a chance. They have to give him a chance, right?
Yeah,
no way
he-
you drop 40 to get DMPs in the postseason.
You wanna take-
PPG average. Though.
You want to take
How
something
much
from
you
those
think he
games,
got
though?
from that game, bro?
Well, I don't know
Nothing.
what it was before that.
Yeah, I don't think it was nothing. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference. It ain't like it went
Oh
from
no, 40
six-
points. Is
It ain't like it went
for
from
Pat
40.
Connaughton. It is for somebody that wasn't
at-
scoring.
I couldn't tell. Well, right now he's at 5.3.
So it didn't do shit.
So wait. You can go look at his total points, and then we'll see how many points he had before. Then we could do the math.
okay.
Just highlight it from that game
Yeah.
up until that before that game. It'll tell you.
I don't think he knows how to do that, Pierre.
Oh,
You know,
man.
he not. These guys don't do basketball reference research. So I'll do it.
Yeah, you might as well.
What research do y'all use then?
I do.
Them research.
The only reason I'm asking because I waited to the very last day to do my taxes, and so I expensed all my subscriptions.
Hell yeah.
I have
Smart
Clean the
man.
Glass and Basketball Index.
No crafted
And-
NBA, dunks and threes.
No.
I'm not saying you. I'm
No,
not saying
no.
it's law to have them.
I
I'm
actually
just
never.
asking.
Y'all talk about those, but I've never looked them up.
You don't have to. Whatever works for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make it seem like whatever.
It was
we do, you do.
5.3 to. I'm at 4.3 to 5.3. He had an extra PPG.
point.
All right, thank you, Omaha team, for doing that because my phone wasn't
You know,
working.
I'm bad at math, so
Yeah, bad at a lot.
But yeah,
of
you
different things.
you want to be able to find something that you can grab from it and be like, you know, this is gonna. But it's tough. Some of the games that we played against them too was like we played them on November 1st. It's nothing I can take from that fucking game.
Yeah, exactly.
We did play them 2 times in 2025. The one game that I would say is the most meaningful one, they won. It was like in February. That's the one. You know what I mean? If you want to, but again, it's like Asar is going to guard Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. They're going to be aggressive with Cat. It's their first playoff series. Cade Cunningham is. Everybody keeps saying, man, he was killing against y'all. He's fucking Cade Cunningham.
yeah.
Yeah.
Duh. It ain't Simone Fontecchio that's averaging 30 against us. It's Cade Cunningham. I'm not surprised. I don't go into the series saying we're going to stop Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham is that fucking guy.
But if you do,
Good luck.
Slow him down.
And
If you
slow him
do,
down.
Slow him down.
Slow him down. He's just so good because it ain't just scoring. He's going to play at his pace. He's going to get to his spots. He's going to take his shots.
I think the advantage y'all have
He
him
can
there
pass.
is being able to turn him over a lot. That's where the Knicks can try to hold their hat.
We don't force a lot of turnovers.
Yeah,
I
know.
think I think that's the goal for honestly both teams. Like Asar and Jalen Brunson, they're gonna try to trap him and get the ball out of his hand. Same thing with Cade, honestly. But that's where the Knicks role players is definitely gonna come into.
I love that. I hope they trap because I love
When they
Josh
trap,
Hart as a
you gotta go
decision-maker.
run out to McHale and OG. It's gonna be a little different from running out to the people.
Cat can space it. I
That's
love that.
That's what I was about to say. I think trapping against while having Cat on the court is a little risky, just because Cat is such a damn threat offensively that like he can do so much. Like he's not just a spacer; he's also a guy who can attack from the perimeter.
I mean, a lot of times when you have a team with a lot of talent, it's pick your poison.
Yeah.
I think that Jalen Brunson has a higher ceiling as an offensive player in this series. So if that means that Karl Anthony Towns is the guy that we have to live with, he's fucking amazing offensively. But that's what we have to do.
Yeah.
Because Jalen Brunson is able to give you 40 and get to the line 13 times and do all of these things to close out a game.
You know who they picking?
so we can get his rhythm off then, huh?
You know who they picking? Their poison.
Mikal
with?
Bridges.
Oh, Mikal Bridges.
Mikal Bridges.
And OG's gonna get a lot of open looks as well.
Mikal Bridges. They picked. Mikal Bridges is just. Even in that last game I was watching against the Pelicans, I like Mikal.
Mr.
I
82.
just never seen a guy who has a lane and just be like, nah, I'm a fade in the mid-range. He was making that bullshit too. But I'm like, boy, if you don't get your ass down there and get Isaiah Stewart ass in foul trouble, so Karl Anthony
know.
Towns can
That
have
might
his
be
way.
a JBL clothesline. You go down there with beef
Oh,
stew.
hey, I'm in
He
that
still
coaching.
is gonna have a series, man.
Yeah, I'm coach. I want to use that into our favor.
Yeah.
Over under 2 technical fouls in this series.
Over.
For who?
1.5 for
just for
Big
Isaiah
Stu.
Stewart.
Yeah.
Over.
Strong over.
For real?
He might have, yeah.
It's
Okay, okay. How about over under 2.5 reviews on something Isaiah Stewart
over in the
did?
first game. I don't want Isaiah Stewart to do that though. I don't want him to get suspended.
Yeah, I don't want no suspensions either. I hate when suspensions happen.
Yeah,
in the
don't get
playoffs.
suspended. But I do want him to be a villain. I do want him to act a fool in Madison Square Garden. I do want him to be chippy. I want them to play with that same level. I'm a Knicks fan. I'm going for the Knicks. I'm picking the Knicks. But I do love the swagger of the Pistons, and it gets me excited for the series. So I don't want to see him come in and be buttoned up.
That's the one area I think they could really beat y'all up in. Is like literally just beating y'all up and playing physical.
Bro,
We got
him
two
and-
guys that are in our starting lineup that are. I'm not talking about them as men. I'm just talking about them as basketball players. Physicality is not what they want, and that is Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. The one thing I will say as a Knicks fan, I am happy we did play them that late in the season because I want Cat to be able to have a reference of how they're going to play you. They're going to try to bit you. They think you soft. You already seen that. You just saw that recently. So be ready in game 1. Be ready to put that fucking elbow in somebody's neck to say, hey, you ain't doing that for 7 games.
And you also got Madison Square Garden right behind you in game 1 too.
Yes.
So like you already got that in
That's
your favor.
the other thing too.
Ben Stiller, shut up.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to win in Madison Square Garden.
Well, they also making it hard for Knicks fans to get into Detroit.
I don't know how I feel about it. As a Knicks fan, I'm like, y'all some hoes, but as a basketball fan,
I don't
I'm like,
have an opinion
that ain't
on
bad.
it.
I kind of fuck
Yeah,
with
no,
that. I ain't gonna lie.
they
You know what I'm
essentially
saying?
saying we only want our diehard fans in this arena.
As a Knicks fan, I'm like, y'all scared. But as other
Shit, it's a home game. We gonna have our
yeah,
fans.
Yeah,
in
we
there.
want nothing but our fans.
For sure,
in there.
for
It's gonna
sure.
be
I
like 2K when you shaking the screen when you had the free throw.
I
line.
like it. That's some shit I do.
So that means Spike Lee won't be courtside.
Yes, he will.
No,
He gonna find a way.
He'll find a way.
He'll Spike Lee.
They don't want them 210s and 320s with the red, the blue and yellow or blue and orange. Talking about MVP. In your building? No, I would make sure motherfucker ain't getting in that building either. Anybody gonna hit MVP chance on the road? That's crazy. Jalen Brunson shooting free throw every time MVP and Little Caesars.
That's why that Philly Knicks one was so fun because you could tell the fans are just traveling like back and forth.
It's one little train ride.
Well, yeah, that one's so easy.
Yeah.
That's literally
It's like an hour and a half train, 2 hour
Yeah.
train. I've
But-
done that trip before.
I wonder will we see more like in division. No, they not even, like conference teams do that, where they try to
Limit tickets.
limit the amount of tickets that come from outside.
They
the
said
state.
it happened in baseball this year or last year.
It's not a bad tactical idea, especially for the Pistons. That's what the Pistons are. Like, I'm so excited for them, and I'm glad that they paying it. It's like the Bears. The Bears being good is always gonna be nice. But the Bears have to be good from a defensive standpoint. That's what the Bears are. That's what they are. You talking about?
I'm talking
That's
about
been
when you
identity.
could count on them
Monsters of
for
the
at least
midway.
Yeah, Monsters of the
14
Midway.
points off defense at
Big
least.
Buckets to Bryant Urlacher.
Peanut Tillman.
Yes, like that. So it's cool we got Caleb Williams. That's always going to be nice. But you want that defense. I think the Pistons are the same way. They always going to have to be edgy, physical, ready to get in your face, ready to get technical fouls, whether that's Bill Laimbeer or Ben Wallace, whether it's fucking Chauncey Billups being a not-for-shit point guard or Isaiah Thomas, Joe Dumars, the fucking Rip Hamilton, Rashard Lewis being crazy, Rasheed Wallace. I said Rashard Lewis.
So that was the reason
Rasheed
like,
being
Isaiah
crazy.
Stewart was their first person they extended in like a long ass time.
He just a little. He mean. We like that.
Yeah, that had to be the reason.
Yeah, you got to be a
They sent
little.
it right
Even
on the
Marcus
wall.
Morris with the Brandon Jennings and Drummond and KCP playoff teams. He was the one to get in LeBron face and being physical and shit. You just got to have that chip. So I like that Detroit got their swagger. With all that being said, I'm taking my Knicks in 6.
Oh, we just got breaking news.
I think that.
Shams Charania says star Damian Lillard will miss the start of the playoffs.
It's news,
So-
but it's not news.
Yeah.
It was kind of expected.
Now it's official. Again, he just says start, so we don't know
What
that means exactly. Is that just a game? Is that 4 games? Is
What's the normal turnaround for blood clots?
a long
I don't
time?
think they know.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a long time traditionally.
You know, Chris Bosh retired from it.
yeah, that's true.
Asar Thompson missed the extended part of the season, but then he
And the
missed
beginning-
last season.
He missed the end of last season, beginning of this season.
Yeah. So
So it's just like there's a way you can do it by taking. This is just from what I remember reading when Dame initially got announced. It's like
The thinners.
you like being on blood thinners. The reason they don't want you hooping is because you get hit and then it can start like internal bleeding and stuff like that. But with a certain type of blood thinner, that it might be able to if you can break the clot up enough. But it's like
It's not
pretty
worth
fucking
it.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. at that
Brandon
point,
Ingram had a
bro.
quick. I don't want to call it quick, but he bounced back from it relatively.
It says Lillard has, however, made significant progress with his blood clot, and there are optimism remaining for his clearance at some point in the playoffs.
That's really good to hear.
He is continuing to increase his basketball activity this week.
That's really good to hear, man.
That's good to hear.
Damian
3
Lillard,
months?
these NBA
Okay.
players are superheroes.
He said he was going to see the
The
Minecraft
doctors be
movie.
superheroes too.
No, they definitely superheroes. But
Yeah.
the reason I say that is because
You
if
gotta
I
have
was an NBA
some
player,
mental toughness to even think
Yeah.
about. I'm
Chris
sorry.
Bosh retired from this. I'm like, hey,
I'm sorry, Giannis. You got to do this one on your own, brother.
I need
basketball
the summer.
activities.
I will be there watching for
Lonzo
sure.
Ball got to be one of the like toughest dudes in terms.
You saw
of
he hosted the family.
Yeah, he
I
hosted
ain't
the
see that.
family that
Yeah.
gave him the meniscus.
They child or family member died.
Hey,
He
that's
hosted
so.
the family.
Hey, no, I gotta see that. That's super dope.
Yeah.
No, that was cool as hell.
They were also on 2K last night.
Do you brag about that to somebody?
Yes. Why his dude look like Leangelo?
I don't know.
Huh?
You gotta brag about that, like my meniscus and Lonzo Ball's knee right
Well,
now.
he can't brag
Yeah,
about
he
it.
passed away.
He's
That's
I'm
how
sorry, I did
You
not
give
know.
you give your organs if you're
Yeah.
you're an organ donor.
Yeah, I am.
So if he can't get it until not until but only if
unfortunate happened. Yeah.
Yeah.
But he hosted the family, so like the brother, the sister, the mom, and the
Okay, that's
dad
dope,
of
that's
the.
dope.
he
That's the
signed,
host.
took
Rest in peace to
pictures.
that
They was
dude, man.
courtside.
Yeah.
I think the mom was crying or
Yeah,
whatnot.
it makes sense.
It was dope though. It was dope.
But
But yeah,
that's
I
kind of an
have,
insane thing to think about.
but
Pistons in 7, man. I'm taking
Oh,
shit.
shit.
I
the
love
underdog.
it. You kept your same energy as yesterday's linear show. So with that being said, what are we putting on the table?
Wait, Darrick, are you also Team Pistons?
I'll go Pistons in 7.
What are we putting on the table?
Um,
Hey, shout out to you because you're gonna bet. You have to bet. I'm letting you know that. You know why? Because this is 2 times in a fucking year, 2 times back-to-back years where you're picking against my Knicks. So
I
you're
picked
putting
against
money.
them last year?
You picked the second
In the
Sixers.
against the Sixers.
So you're putting money on the table.
Oh.
You're
For what
not
it's worth,
finna,
I think I picked the Sixers.
you're
in
not
this
gonna
series,
keep
too.
doing this bet against the Knicks and then dodge the bullet. No, put the money where the mouth is. I know you with it. What it is. It don't have to be money. It don't have to be money.
I'm thinking. Man,
Because I know he still owe me push-ups.
I do.
That
So-
shit was from 4 years ago.
Damn.
Golly.
How many push-ups do we owe you still?
Probably like
Why is this
30.
the
It was like
highlight?
50. I think he only did 10 in one live show, and he did 7 with Jamal Crawford, but I'm calling it 10. But that's my man.
We could put 100 on it.
$100?
Yeah.
My God, $100.
I'll match it.
I ain't even got to shake y'all hand. They see it here, $100. I know KB riding with me, so I
Yeah,
can't bet
I'm
him.
Knicks in 6.
You Knicks in 6?
I'm Knicks in 6.
Bet. You putting $100 in the pool?
Do you want to bet with me? I mean, I don't mind betting,
Right,
but it
yeah,
ain't my
fault.
team or nothing.
I ain't mean to take all the money, KB. Get you some too, damn it.
You
Nah,
want to
we
put?
good.
Why would you bring it up?
Yeah, I mean, I like gambling.
Hold up. I got Mike. Y'all do that. Because you seem like you ain't want to do the 200.
Remember yesterday when we were talking about the other one, he also took the Heat, so y'all might as well just make a bet on that one.
Yeah, you know what? We've been jumping around for sure. Let's stick to these playing games, and then we'll get back to the other ones.
Yeah.
So let's go Warriors versus Grizzlies right now, because that's another game that's tonight.
I'm going to go to State Warriors.
I'm going to Warriors.
I'm going Warriors as well. I mean, I think that because it ain't like Jalen Wells is a super duper star, because Steph Curry just dropped 50 last time they played against each other a few weeks ago. But not having Jalen Wells to chase our boy Steph Curry around, it's going to be a problem, I think.
Limits them so much.
I think that the one upside that they do have is the size advantage.
But honestly, I don't think the size is that overwhelming, because I still think Draymond Green and Jimmy Butler and them, like, they might not be technically bigs, but you're not going to just move them around.
The point is, who is going to be dominating on the inside?
The new look Ja Morant with Isolo's offensive plan, he's been playing more pick and roll. I mean, it ain't equated to many wins, but like
Zach
I just
might have some buckets on the side because ain't nobody gonna contest him. But like
The only thing
a
is
lot
the
of their
other side
bigs and
for
a lot
him.
of like Jaren might take off, but Draymond, he gonna be on that. He gonna be.
y'all
on
not
that.
worried about the Warriors being 0-3 in play-in games so far since the play-in has
How many
happened?
they had with Jimmy Butler though?
0.
You got to add that to the.
I'm going for the. I think the Warriors gonna win, but I might root for the Grizzlies. I like Jaren Jackson a lot this year. Y'all know how much I love Bane. I ain't got nothing against Ja Morant either. But like,
That not because he'll bring them off.
anybody worry about that weak is.
Throw a grenade in this studio.
I feel the same way. To me, it's just.
But I want the Warriors to succeed too. I don't know. This is a tough one.
And I feel like I would really love to see them versus Houston in the first round.
The Warriors?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I would rather see the
Bro,
Grizzlies.
man,
The Warriors gonna probably.
Eason, it's definitely.
I want to say fuck them up. The Warriors
In
going
that hypothetical, I might run with the Rockets, man.
against the Grizzlies.
Against either.
For real? I want to so bad. I fell asleep last night watching my boy Jalen Green. Shout out to Intuition Hoops. That boy, he was getting to it, man.
I'm trying to think about some other really big X factors in this one. Oh, will Jaren Jackson Jr. be able to stay out of foul trouble? That was the thing last time they played against each other.
Well, that's been something he's dealt with his whole career.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you know, this year's been better than previous years. But recently, it's been just recently, he's just been getting back to his old habits, which is never good. What happens with Jimmy Butler? He got hit in the quad in that one game versus the Clippers. He said he's fine. He gonna play some dominoes. He gonna drink some coffee. He'll be cool. But there were times in that game versus the Clippers, which was an amazing game. We haven't talked about it yet, but an amazing game. Down the stretch, it just felt like so many people were just hesitant to make decisions with the Warriors.
It looked like it was just like, oh shit, let's get the ball to Steph.
I ain't like that shit.
I was like,
No, but at the end of the game too, Buddy Hield took that dumb.
Yeah, Buddy Hield took that three,
Steph
but-
Curry takes the shot whether all five is guarding him down.
I guess Steve Kerr figured I don't want to be too predictable, and so he went with his second best 3-point shooter.
Yeah, maybe.
So I guess it kind of. I thought it was a good look for Buddy. His head just hit off
He
backboard.
hit that out backboard.
Yeah,
You know why that's dangerous though?
because he was coming off the bench.
No, well, yeah. The reason it's dangerous to kind of like not be predictable is because you have certain like I could tell by the shot and the miss. Buddy Hield in his mind said, "I don't give a fuck. This shot going up.
Yeah,
They don't know what happened when I touched this ball going up, and I can't. It was
it was like 3 seconds.
yeah, it
left.
wasn't too much time, but like he was like, I'm shooting it. I'm giving that to Steph. But I do agree with y'all though. I did not like the way that looked.
I also felt like, at the end of certain possessions, it always seemed like it ended up in Podziemski's hands, and I'm like,
Draymond
Jimmy,
was getting pissed.
He
at
did
that.
that. He had that travel that's trying to step through a
Yes.
three-pointer.
It always ended up in his hands, and I'm like, Jimmy, you the one who just signed a big ass. This is like what they brought you in for.
He had a bad play where this might even have been like just early in the game, but like he had a wide open layup and he just like bailed out and threw it back. And everybody in the commentators are like, bro, Jimmy, we know you want to pass the ball, but you got to score the ball.
My
here.
dad called me like, man, Jimmy Butler can't be taking fast shots. I'm like, he was doing that with the Heat.
Yeah,
He
I
was
think
like,
that
he was.
his fast shots is different sometimes though because
He shoots so many free throws.
he'll get to the line. Obviously, those don't count as shot attempts. But if he's not getting to the line and shooting 7 shots, that's what's
The
like.
shots
damn,
really
Jimmy.
just got to come when Steph is not on the court, honestly. Or if there's too much attention, like that's when he's just got to take over.
Yeah, no, and I think also he just has to be able to be that like when it comes to shot creation, he is their second best shot creator. So like he has to be that instead of the ball ending up in Podziemski's hands, and now you putting it in the young fella's hands to try to just make a play out of nowhere. I think there's just a lot of pressure to put on Podziemski at this point in his career.
Y'all think he got too comfortable? Because in
Jimmy?
that when he first got there, being a hard hat glue guy was like perfect.
Yeah.
But now the honeymoon stage is fizzling out. The NBA has gotten accustomed to who the Warriors are. Y'all kind of resettled down, and now it's about to be the playoffs. And yeah, you probably got to be a little bit more than like a souped-up Josh Hart.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
There's there's not many 16-game players in the league. Jimmy Butler is one of them players.
His ass got to be a 17-game player because they need to win to get in.
Well, he gonna be a 17.
Potentially 18 if they don't come with
He
it
gonna be a
tonight.
17. They not losing tonight.
Yeah, that's really the X factor. Will Jimmy Butler
Be playoff
score
Jimmy.
offensively? Will he be playoff Jimmy?
You know all I want to see, right? Desmond Bane hit a 3 and do this to him. I don't even know what type of gun Desmond Bane had.
Hey, I'm gonna say that John Morant got one of the rawest 3-point celebrations.
you like the grenade?
Oh,
I do.
I think
I do.
what made the grenade thing so crazy is that
It's not a grenade.
He said he's
taking
putting his words out there, and he
right.
But like when he puts his hands over his ears, like a camera flashes, and
Yeah.
it looks like something exploded. If you look at the picture, someone had pointed it out on Twitter, but like a camera shot at the same time that he did that,
Oh.
and like it literally looks like.
What if
a
he
bomb
hired
went off.
somebody in row 17? Every time I do it,
just be ready. Just be ready.
See, it would be better back in the day if they had like the real flash photography, but now they just got the phone, so it don't be looking as cool.
I'm going Warriors in this game now.
I'm going Warriors too. I think the Warriors come out and take care of business.
I got going
Yeah.
Warriors as well. The game is played in San Francisco.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Then we get to the 9,
Such
10.
a shame that they failed to the play-in.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Harrison Barnes, I guess.
Yeah. Harrison Barnes did hit that game winner.
Mr. 82 as well, man. Another guy that played all 82
Yeah.
games.
So the Spurs, all they vets played 82 games. They was setting an example over there.
So the
He
most
wouldn't be a bad
players
buck.
in recent
he
history to have 3. Wait, they had 3 players play all 82. That's the most in like 10 years.
Who was the third?
Champagne.
Oh.
Wouldn't
shout
be
out
a
to
bad
Champagne.
buck.
No, he wouldn't.
9-10 matchup. Bulls hosting the Miami Heat. We did our linear show, and Darrick, I actually feel kind of insulted that you were wearing Bulls.
Me too. I thought when you said
Close
that
today.
jacket kind of nice, I thought you was going that route with it.
Yeah. it was-
Oh,
I-
I ain't peeped the sleeves got a basketball
Hey.
net.
Yeah.
It's basketball net sleeve. Okay.
I put it on sometimes. I
Yes,
do
you
this
do.
dress.
Where's that from?
Fashion Nova.
Wow, I didn't know Fashion Nova had NBA licensing.
I didn't know either.
Or maybe they don't.
The back is the logo.
Yeah. I did pick the Miami Heat, and I just think they're a deeper team. I just like.
Are they though?
I think starting 5-wise, yeah.
That's not deep. That's
It's
5
better than
players.
the Bulls starting 5.
By what metrics? Because the Bulls have been better offensively
I'ma
and
let them
defensively
have
since
this.
the All-Star break. It's one thing to pick them. I'm not even
Hey,
saying you're
yeah.
wrong in
Hey,
picking
bro,
them.
I'm just
It's
talking
one game.
on paper.
It's one game. But like the Bulls have been better across almost every advanced stat than the Miami Heat since the trade deadline. Since Jimmy is gone and Zach LaVine has been gone. That's all I'm saying.
That ain't what you judge off of. You go off the eye test. Tell them what you see with the Miami Heat starting 5.
Them motherfuckers lost 10 games in a row.
They
That's
did
what
lose 10 games
What do
in a
you
row.
see with Miami that makes you think they're going to come out and win this?
No, and I don't want people to misunderstand. The Miami Heat are good enough to beat the Bulls for sure. It's not like the Bulls should
Yeah,
not be
this is-
30-point favorites. It's not
Yeah.
the OKC Thunder versus a G League team, right? But the Bulls have been better.
They have had a better season.
I mean,
I mean,
by
it's
one
been more
game at
exciting.
least. By one game.
It's been
yeah.
more
Hey man,
exciting to
stay on
watch.
your business.
I'm just picking the Heat. I'm just going.
My problem with it,
just picking
Darrick,
the Heat.
is because there's supposed to be 2 fucking Bulls fans on this panel.
I'm a bigger Bulls fan than Darrick.
I
man.
feel it too. Damn it. It ain't no way my favorite team's in a win or go home game. It could be against the fucking Monstars. I'm taking my favorite team.
You don't think Kobe White could drop 50?
That motherfucker dropped 44 last time in the play-in. Don't sleep.
I would love to
Don't
see the
get
Bulls
50.
win.
But you don't
Sometimes
think
you got to
could-
stop being an analyst and be a goddamn fan.
You only do that when it's the Celtics.
I can't wait to see who they gonna play to see who you pick. Let's say I got Magic.
Let's gamble on it though. What you want to bet?
On this one,
Which is kind of insane though that you're willing to gamble against your favorite team.
I didn't want to gamble, but you offered it, so I'll just take it.
Okay.
So
Whoa.
Oh, that is very crazy.
we're talking
Whoa.
about gambling. I'm literally talking about gambling.
Whoa.
Okay.
We can put $100 on it.
Make it 2.5.
I actually don't even want to because I don't even want to root for the Heat. I just feel like the Heat are gonna win.
You don't have to make a bet. You don't have to make a bet.
Nah, we're peer pressuring him.
You ain't finna watch the game anyway, so it ain't like you got to root or anything.
He finna
Marvel Rivals.
check the score. Pull out box score
He
watch.
said, this Julian Phillips kid can really chalk.
Who is this guy?
He said, FanDuel, they got the box score up there now, so you just kind of keep up with the game.
Hell
Derek,
no.
Keep
what
up
is-
the parlay in the game.
Let's see how locked in he is.
Remember Dalen Terry walked in? He said, "Who dude?"
What is the Bulls starting five?
Oh, Josh Giddey, Kobe White, Vooch, Modest is now in the starting lineup, and it is I can't remember who the other person is.
think.
It's not Io no more because he's out for the
Think.
year. Is it Patrick Williams still?
No, lost his starting spot to Modest. Think.
Did I say Giddey already?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
It was the first name, I believe.
So Lonzo is still, he's out. I can't remember.
Hey, no. He got to get there.
Can you name the roster?
Who
If
are the candidates?
If you name the roster, you'll get there.
No dead air. Talk
It's
to
not Dalen Terry.
not Dalen
It's
Terry.
not Patrick Williams. It's not Julian Phillips. It's not
THT is on his team.
THT. Yeah,
Javon Carter's on his team. And
Hey, you giving him two? Let him
you're
get
right.
that.
You're
Let
right.
him
I'm trying not
cook.
to give dead air.
Let him cook.
I'm trying not to give dead air, but you're right.
I can't remember who that fourth person.
I'm here to just talk you up.
I know the.
Think
I
about
know
the rest of the roster. They made trades. Who they get?
No dead air.
Oh wait.
They made trades. Who they get, D Mills?
Oh shit! You talking about the Zach LaVine trade? Oh, Zach Collins.
Nope. They did get Zach Collins in the
Yeah,
trade,
yeah.
but he is not a starter on this Bulls team. He only started when Vooch was out with his injury.
He was doing all right, too.
He's pretty damn good. He took Jalen Smith's spot in the rotation. He had like a 16-16 game, like 4 assists. Like, okay, I see you, Zach.
He do that every
He be
once in a
yelling at
while.
people and shit.
What college you went to?
Zach Collins.
Zach, I noticed Zach Collins was a Zaga boy.
Yes, he was.
He looked like a Zach.
What college Jalen Smith went to?
He was a Terp.
Maryland.
Yeah. Oh.
Come on now.
Good pull,
I
man.
really liked him coming out of
What
the
college
draft.
Julian Phillips went to?
Tennessee.
Yeah.
I got everybody.
Nah,
We ain't
Bulls?
letting you off the hook.
I don't know.
They shit feel like when he had the name
What
Anthony
college
Simons.
Kevin Herter went to?
Oh, is it Kevin Herter? I forgot Kevin Herter.
I said it and winked at KB.
Kevin Herter is our third starter. Our fifth starter, I'm sorry.
Red Velvet.
Shout out to Red Velvet.
What college he went to?
He a Terp.
There's all these Terps.
All
Y'all
these
might
Terps.
get Derrick Queen too. Huh?
Nah, again, the Heat can definitely win this. They're gonna have Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo, who's probably the best two players
Yeah.
in the
That was
damn
kind of
game.
the only reason why I went with them. Mm-hmm. It wasn't really much of a. I looked at who has a better team. I was like
Better
Miami.
coach.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not against.
I'm picking the Bulls because, like I said on the linear show, Tyler Hero taking that 3 on a fast break disgusting me. So I ain't,
that shot
I don't
was
promote
awful.
that. It's youth kids
Bro,
watching.
you seen the quote? It was like, we could blame Steph for this or whatever. And somebody's like,
Yeah.
Steph's never done this, by the way.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. We can blame Steph
That's
for this.
2K ass shot.
But if you don't go get the fucking 2 points before I run on that court with a belt,
What make you think that was a better shot than just going to get the
who the
layup?
fuck? This that
I think he was just-
ass shot.
It was like situational.
Yeah.
Josh Giddey is averaging 26, 10, and 10 against the Miami Heat this season in 3 games. We need him to be great. He's dealing with some wrist injury right now, so you know if he's not playing, I don't think he needs 26, 10, and 10 tomorrow. But if he's not looking like the good version of him, we have no chance. We really need Josh Giddey to turn
Man,
his ass
Dalen
up.
Terry finna drop 20 on the
I think
year.
y'all need Kobe White to go out of his
For sure.
mind.
Yeah.
36.
And he can
type.
do that too. We've been doing that, play of the month in March, but it is April now, so we don't know. We don't know what's
It's a
able
little roll.
to
He got some rollover minutes.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the Western Conference. We got a 9-10 matchup, Kings versus Dallas Mavericks.
Damn.
Said this shit earlier, man. This might be the least one I'm looking forward to in terms of the
But your
play-in.
boy Anthony Davis, former Laker.
I think that's kind of why I am excited for it. I think that.
Him versus a bonus.
Yeah, I just think that front court matchup is going to be very exciting.
Yeah. The Dallas Mavericks are in the news because they just did a meeting with the press, where
No
they told the press
cameras.
no cameras, no phones, no recorders, no nothing.
Not the Mavericks, Nico Harrison.
Yeah, Nico Harrison. So I'm sure we're going to get some stories out of that after this podcast wraps up. But yeah, interesting stuff. In this game, I guess I'll run Kings just because they have more talent, I guess.
I'm going Dallas in this one.
Cool.
I'm going Kings. I just think
I don't even know
Anthony
what to
Davis.
do matchup wise. Like think about, you know, matchups and
DeMar,
it's
Zach.
kinda,
Is Malik Monk playing?
couldn't even tell you. Last game I watched him, he was definitely on that sideline looking flea.
Yeah.
So I couldn't tell
You know
if
I
he's
got a
playing
big
or not.
issue. Big
When they
issue.
be
with-
looking flea on that sideline.
Yeah.
You want him to wear a garbage bag?
I mean, they don't care about
No,
the
we're the
game
fucking
enough.
Kings warm up. We're the team that's paying you on your.
That was one of
Oh,
the
was he
most-
looking pretty unprofessional?
Nah,
More
I'm
unprofessional
just-
than
right.
warming up with your shirt off, man.
Oh yeah, he's out at least 2 weeks,
Okay.
5 days ago, so he won't be playing.
My problem with what Isaiah Thomas said is like, Bron has been doing this for fucking 30
years.
years.
Yes,
He's
yes.
always done
Years.
this.
Yeah.
For
To
years.
pick it up in year 22.
What's
just-
making you
And
so-
it's not like everybody just doing this.
What
It's
make
not like
you
we
so
just walk around and
Yeah.
Kevin Herter just doing, he warming up shirtless or whatever.
I
Like
wish,
it's
but
only
nah.
one person doing it.
There's only one person doing this, Bron.
It's only one person that can do it
Hey,
the right way.
I've seen a lot of football players warm up before the game started, damn near butt ass naked.
Tyreek Hill be getting fined for not wearing socks.
You should get fined for a lot of things. Y'all remember that game that was like minus 12 degrees and the entire O-line was out there warming up without their shirt on?
the Buffalo Bills game.
Yeah. It's like, we built for this. I think it was, Bills versus Steelers or something like that?
I told y'all.
Them boys had some scotch and they
You get on that sideline looking flea, you're gonna be somewhere without a team.
I don't think that's true.
It's definitely not true. Jared Vanderbilt is doing
Yeah, I was saying
he's doing
Vanderbilt
very
plays
fast.
a lot
This
of
is
minutes
from
now.
Tim McMahon right now. Mavs GM Nico Harrison and CEO Rick Welts just wrapped up an hour-long session with select members of Dallas-based media. Defense wins championships was a phrase uttered most often. We'll
Select-
have full coverage on ESPN this afternoon.
He's staying on that, boy.
Select media makes
It's
me
crazy.
mad
It is very
because it
crazy.
feels like he just brought his people in.
He got his favorites. Oh,
Yeah.
you didn't say we were crazy for doing this
Yeah.
trade.
I
That's
You
what
don't
you
hold
did.
me accountable. You kiss my ass. You front row.
But then again, if Tim was there, Tim was pretty open about the trade. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know. All right, let's get to the series. We already did the Pistons versus Knicks one. Let's go to the other Eastern Conference one, Pacers versus Bucks.
I'm torn on this, man. I really respect the Pacers and what they did and how Halliburton was able to turn around that season start that people try to act like was 60 games. And I love the way they play. They play team element, team basketball. I think they got a little bit of everything. They got an engine to the offense in Tyrese. They got a half-court go-to guy in Pascal Siakam. Nembhard is tough as glue. Miles Turner can stretch the floor and protect the rim. They got depth, Benedict Mathurin, Obi Toppin, TJ McConnell, Aaron Nesmith. They are a really, really good top-to-bottom team. The Bucks, on the other hand, though they're missing Damian Lillard,
They got
again,
that guy.
when you have Giannis
They got
and you
that
have him
man.
driven, you have him with a chip on his shoulder, playing the way he played to close out the year, I just think that that's a tall task. I'm gonna let y'all go and see if y'all can sway me in one way.
I've been thinking a lot about this series, and honestly, I can't stop just going back to the point that if Dame doesn't play, then the Pacers win.
That's exactly where I'm at too.
Yeah.
Like obviously, basketball is so much deeper than that. Specifically when you have one of the 3 best players in the world on your team. But without Damian Lillard, and Kevin Porter Jr. has been phenomenal over the last couple weeks. Ryan Rollins has been fine, starting
What college
alongside
you
them.
went to?
I don't know.
Oh, that's a tough. I don't know if I know Ryan Rollins' college.
Somebody said, quick trivia, and tagged me and Christian. I said, boy, stop disrespecting my name.
Texas
like that.
Tech.
Toledo.
Oh hell yeah, I was never getting to Toledo.
So I answered it right, and the dude was like, all right, name another player in the NBA that's from the Toledo, that grew up in Toledo. I'm like, boy, now you're
From
Yeah, that's
Toledo,
doing
like
too
grew
much.
up in
Yeah, I'm
Toledo?
like, now you're pushing it.
For this one too, I agree with all y'all said. I feel like Giannis is really he's damn near the only real X factor you look at when in terms of like what the chances the Bucks have in this series. I'm gonna go with the Pacers just because they got the complete roster right now. They're coming in more or healthier than the Bucks are. And I said on the linear show, I don't even think Tyrese really has to have a crazy, phenomenal series for me to pull this out.
Yeah. Also, I just think outside of Giannis, I just don't trust the Bucks others. Like I feel like when you look at the Pacers team, when you go after Halliburton, I feel like I trust a lot of those players throughout a series to at least do something productive. I don't know what I'm gonna get from the Bucks others on a night-to-night basis.
Brook Lopez gonna give you that game though.
For sure.
He gonna have
I
like a
remember
20
this
to
was
25
basically
point game.
A similar team that played against the Pacers last year without Giannis, and that was a series.
They had Chris Middleton.
I'm
too.
keeping that in my mind.
They did have Chris Middleton.
Now
yeah.
they have Giannis.
I was
want
gonna say Chris Middleton and Giannis.
Oh yeah.
True.
But now it's no Dame or Chris Middleton. So
Dame was
really
on
it's
one
just
leg,
Giannis.
even though he had 30.
But Dame plus
They had Dame
Lillard,
for most of that series.
Dame and Middleton
said that
doesn't
he was-
equate to Giannis. Giannis is still
even with Dame being there, and he
What did
was
he say?
hurt.
His Achilles was hurting or something?
I think it might have been his Achilles, but even then, when he was on the court, he was like, "I was just a decoy."
Yeah.
You know they gonna pay attention to me.
I
That's
remember
how
that.
Chris Middleton got a
Yeah.
little bit more open looks.
I look at this Pacers team and I'm like, they can go on a conference finals run again.
They have a really good team.
Who would they play in the second round? Us?
The Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
They can see the Cavs in the second round.
That could be a series, man.
It could be, but I'm gonna disagree with y'all, and I'm gonna go with the Bucks.
Then they make it to the second round.
Shout out to my boy 2K Messiah. Shout out to AK Riley. Y'all know y'all my boys. It ain't really nothing against the Pacers. I'm kind of Giannis up.
I feel that, P, bro. Like, I would love to see Giannis go on a fucking run again,
I ain't
man.
gonna
I would
lie.
love to see it too.
We haven't seen him in the playoffs in like 2.5, 3 years.
7 weeks from now, when we doing our reviews or Clips is doing the who got what right and what wrong,
You
my
know what
shit
it
may
feel
look
like?
idiotic when I pick the Sixers. when me and you pick-
Exactly.
and they got their ass swept. But I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it again.
Exactly.
Is that the bubble?
Yeah,
Yes.
it was the bubble.
My checks stay the same whether I got
Check
them
still
all
clear.
right
Yeah.
or all wrong. You know what I mean? I like to be right, but I'm gonna go devil advocate and mix it up just a little bit for the
I was
sake of
feeling
the
that
show.
same
you know?
way. I was like, bro, I know the Celtics got a better team, but they ain't messing with Joel Embiid.
Yeah, I feel it.
They put his ass in the stranglehold.
Yeah, they got him out of there quick.
I don't know if there's a single player in basketball that I want to see going to run more than I want to see Giannis, bro. It's been so
I love to
long.
see Giannis winning.
Me too, man.
I know that man had like he had arguably one of the most dominant seasons ever, and he was third in MVP.
Since the Dame injury,
30,
Yeah.
10, and 8. Good
yeah.
efficiency. Great defense.
they've been out, man.
8-game win streak going into the postseason. It's something there. Again,
Something's
I don't like to boil it down to no Dame, no wins. But something is there.
I'm not saying no wins, but I just feel like it's
I mean, no
win
win of the series. Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, I think this
It could be
a-
that simple. You know, like I said, I'm picking my pick based off,
Because at some point, Giannis has to come up to court.
he does.
And I just feel like the Pacers,
Kevin Porter
They can-
Jr., please save us.
they could thrive while having Halliburton off the court. We've seen TJ McConnell come in a game and just like take over randomly. I just don't know who I can really say on the Pacers can do that. Bobby can have his moments sometimes, but that shit is, I don't know how much I can rely on Bobby.
Did y'all see that stat that if Tyrese Halliburton misses his first shot of the game, he attempts 5 less shots than if he makes his first shot?
No, but that's a crazy stat.
Isn't that fucking ridiculous?
It is.
That is one of the craziest stats I've ever read. So
'Cause-
let's get him a layup to start the game, damn it, so we can have him score a little bit.
Who the hell went through all 82 games to figure that out?
Or
That's
probably
like-
some type of database. I mean,
Oh,
it's
true.
advanced stats and all of these websites. You could probably just do it. But then again, some people get paid to do exactly that. You know,
Yeah.
find these random bits of info for NBA teams.
You go through Basketball Reference, you look at his highest attempted games versus his lowest. Go to those games and see what the first quarter thing was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Missed shot.
Probably won't take that long, honestly.
And then the quicker it goes by quicker than once you find a little nugget that is going into this is something, then you get the urge to say, oh, hold up, I might be getting somewhere, and next thing you know, you discovered it. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I'm also somebody's gonna pop off for them.
For the Bucks?
We didn't expect Chris Middleton to do what he did in that series.
No, we didn't.
You know what I mean? We didn't expect Nembhard in some of the playoffs last year for the Pacers to do what he did offensively. You know, somebody's gonna come out of the woodworks and do something big for the Bucks that we not. Whether that's Gary Trent all of a sudden can't miss in a particular series, Kyle Kuzma gets his shit together overnight. Something is gonna happen. Torian Prince knocking down the trade ball crazy again.
Torian Prince? Oh, yeah, I got a Pistons 6.
You know, guys are better when they leave Bron the Lakers.
Yeah.
So many people I seen going to Cavs, man, when they was going against the Warriors.
They
and I'm
saying
like, yeah.
KD going on some type of Twitter tyrant.
Bro,
Replying to
I've
everybody
seen him do that shit.
over
And it's
the
just
last
like,
hour.
you could tell the season is over for him. The
Also-
season is over. He's just on,
It's
he's
actually
on
crazy.
social media.
He
now.
be responding to the trolls.
Yeah.
Like people who are seeing
This morning I did see him reply to a reporter that said,
I followed that reporter. He followed me back.
Oh,
So
shout out
to Shane, I think his name was.
Shane Young.
Yeah.
But other than that, every other reply that I've seen of him is him replying to trolls and stuff.
And it's like people see you active, so then they be like, "Bet, let me get my KD."
The shit
tweet
that
off.
blew
See
my
if he
mind-
respond to me.
yeah.
Is when somebody tagged him in the Dirk clip and it's like, Katie, this is how you be an efficient ISO scorer. And he's like, yeah, bro, you be taking 20 dribbles to get your ISO. I'm like, bro, you talking to Kevin Durant.
And Kevin Durant's like 20 dribbles as much. I just scored 30 on 6 dribbles or so on and so forth. But he said, this is the tweet that he deleted, but that's one thing I learned about y'all Suns fans. Y'all will say whatever it take to get me out of here. And then do reply, like, with all due respect, KD, it's not that we want you gone, but you're the person that could get us back the best return, respectfully. And he replied, respectfully.
Yeah, I
but
see
he
that.
deleted the tweet that said, y'all Suns fans do this. I'm like, all right, we got the screenshots, Kevin. We fucking got the screenshots. All right, let's go to the Western Conference as we talk about the 4-5 matchup, Denver Nuggets, LA Clippers.
Now
It's gonna
this
be
is
a real good one.
This is my most anticipated series. Just because I love the fact that we got James Harden, Kawhi Leonard on the other side. We talking about 2 elite shot creators going up against a team who really doesn't have good perimeter defenders that can really hang with them. But on the flip side, the Nuggets have the best player in the world on their team in Nikola Jokic, which I think will be a handful for Zubac to have to hang with. So I'm interested to see how Ty Lue schemes against playing against a Nikola Jokic. And such a great mind, too, like Jokic. Like, Jokic isn't just a scorer. Like, he's an amazing playmaker and an amazing reader. He manipulates defenses at a high level to where, like, sure, you can say we going to let the others beat us. I mean, we not going to let the others beat us. But I feel like that's a lot easier said than done when Nikola Jokic is just dominating the game. And then at some point, you're going to have to be like, all right, he got 40. We're going to have to, like, somewhat help. And that's where
They're gonna
the
have to do
vision comes into
both.
play.
They're gonna have
This
to
is
do both.
Kawhi's Instagram.
Kawhi has an Instagram?
Yeah.
Do you remember the deep fryer
This is
picture?
Instagram.
That was on Twitter.
That
was on
on
Twitter.
I didn't know.
I followed this account like this might be like a fan. This is Kawhi's Instagram. He just don't run it. It looked like.
Do
But
he
they
follow
just had him
Kawhi
at the-
Fitz?
I don't run it.
He follow Kawhi. Does he follow Kawhi Fitz?
I don't know if Kawhi Fitz got an Instagram. Does he, KB?
I wouldn't know.
He followed Harden. He followed Joe Freshgoods, Drake. This is his. This is his
Okay.
shit.
Oh,
How
this
many
is-
followers he got?
286,000. Yep.
Okay.
I've been following it because it's my boy. But I was like, this ain't Kawhi. But I just seen him at the Padres game. I'm like, that's Kawhi. Kawhi dude. He doing that shit, making us think somebody else running it. So
Like
leave me
LaMelo.
alone.
Y'all remember that LaMelo clip?
What LaMelo clip?
Oh, never mind.
Well,
No, what was the
The
clip?
on run it clip?
Oh yeah, to old boy's sister.
Yeah.
You used to. Never mind.
Don't even do nothing like that because I don't even know where you're trying to go with that. But whatever it was,
I
it's
was gonna
false.
say-
It's
I was
false.
gonna say you used to be a big fan of dude.
Not even a little bit.
Yeah, I
Not
thought
even
that
a
was your
little
boy.
bit. Oh, no.
What's his name?
Julia.
Julian Newman.
Yeah.
Julian Newman. Anyway,
Clippers Nuggets.
this is going to be a very great series.
I
man.
could see this being a 7-game series.
I can see it going 7. I could
I'm-
also see it going 5.
I'm going
I'm
Clippers.
going some more so like he goes 5.
I'm going to Clippers. Man.
I was leaning towards Clippers.
And I was a dude that was on teed up talking about, man, it's going to be dead.
You going Nuggets, KB?
No.
I'm going
You going
Clippers.
Clippers?
I hate when we're unanimous
I know.
in a
I,
pick.
I like when at least somebody changes it up, but
I'm going Clippers
I'm
in
not
6.
changing mine up. I'm going Clippers.
I think they just have too many.
I don't want to disrespect Jokic, but I'm leaning to Clippers in 5.
This just feels like the healthiest James Harden also has been. Like, he's always the type of dude that plays a lot of games, and he's going in there with nagging injuries. Like, I feel like James Harden is feeling good. Kawhi is looking amazing right now. They have Zubac is looking amazing. They have a lot of things rolling for them right now, and Nuggets is just like, hey, Jamal Murray finna turn up.
Yeah, they
You
are.
got Jokic.
They're a sleeping giant, man, for the last month or so, 2 months. So they've been number 1 offense, number 1 defense, taking care of business, jumped all the way up in the standings, got star player, got individual shot creation, got defensive on the back end, defensive at the point of attack, a dude in Chris Dunn that could just run after Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray, hey, I know he came back and everything, but he's going through another ailment going into the postseason. Like, these are all factors, and I just don't think that they match up very well with the Clippers. The only thing they have is the best player in the world.
Yeah, I think they are literally matching up with the Nuggets at the right time and the right situation. And I think they just are literally just they can literally overpower the Nuggets in this series.
I saw a clip of Zach Lowe, and he was saying that one thing that the Nuggets have not done according to Synergy is post Jokic up, where he averages on a normal game 11 post-ups per game. And when he's played against the Clippers, he has 11 total in the 4 games they played against each other. So maybe that's some form of an X factor for the Nuggets, get Jokic back into his normal element. But Zubac guards him well. And that don't mean a ton because we're still talking about the best in the world. But, like, Zubac does as good as almost anybody when it comes to stopping Jokic, because they don't send help at Jokic at all so far in the games that they played. They just let Jokic play straight up. And again, the similar mindset where early in his career, whenever he dropped 40, they lost. It's like, if he beats us and he drops 60, so be it. But we can't allow him to kick out to open threes. We can't allow him to get the baseline cutter for the easy layup and so on. So Jokic might have a ridiculously great series, but it still might end up being a loss because that means that maybe Jamal Murray has been nullified. Aaron Gordon is not shooting 42% from 3 in this series. Michael Porter Jr. gets lost, and Christian Brown can't be effective in the half court on this defense. So it's I think, a little bit too much. So I'm going Clippers as well.
I think a big X factor for the Nuggets is Russell Westbrook. Can he continue to apply pressure to the rim, and can he be aggressive and just give them a completely different look and allow Jokic to get some easy? Maybe he can be the one that's facilitating. Because, like, whenever someone's attacking the rim, naturally as a defender, you have to kind of send help. And if Russ is getting by his defenders and getting to the basket, you're going to have to eventually send help. And that can also be a way of collapsing the defense and allowing things to open up a little bit.
Those type of things just sound like you playing into the Clippers' hands. Like, hey, if Russ finna beat us, I will definitely let that happen.
That is a storyline, though, Russ versus old team.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. They also I'm thinking about coaching as well. Adelman has coached 3 games. We still trying to get a feel for who he is as a coach. We know Tyronn Lue has been one of the better in-game adjustments, next game adjustment coaches in the league. So I hate that we all unanimous here, because watch the Nuggets fucking winning 4. Because the Clippers just are cursed. They always have them.
It's just the Clippers
like that, bro. He just dropped damn near 40, bro. He better come
in a
hot into the
must-win
playoffs.
game too.
Yeah.
And
But even if James is not looking like the All-NBA version, they still got Kawhi, they still got Norman Powell, they still got Zoo. Because even when James Harden has had his bad scoring nights in the postseason, the motherfucker's still one of the best passers and facilitators.
Bro,
so Zoo's gonna get his.
Too, like, they had a time where they were this one the Warriors got up like 10 or like close to 15, and James Harden just wasn't out there, and he wasn't able to generate just shots at all. And as soon as he came in, they started erasing that lead. Like, why is there a closer? But James Harden is undoubtedly, like, their offensive engine that gets them going to that point.
In that overtime period, James Harden started the game with that corner 3, and then he
scored all the points.
And then he literally hit that top of the 3.
That was a big 6 points for them, man. That was a big 6 points.
Big 6. All right, well, let's go to the 3-6 matchup where the Lakers are going against who again, Mike?
They're going against the Timberwolves.
They got the Wolves.
The Timberwolves.
They got the Wolves.
Which I'm super excited about. The more I think about it, the more I feel like I'm confident in this series, that the way the Lakers have been able to really run with this small ball lineup. I think the Timberwolves is one of those teams that they're just, especially with Rudy Gobert, I'm not putting it all on him, but, like, small ball lineups, they're hard for him to get out there and do it. So I think we could take advantage of him.
What in your perfect mind, that small ball lineup, what is the 5 on the court?
It would be Luka,
of course,
Reeves, LeBron,
Doe,
and it's either got to be Rui or Vando at that point.
If Vando is on the court, Rudy Gobert will be fine in the small ball lineup.
We'll put in Rui then.
In that case, he's probably guarding Doe and saying Doe beat us.
I just think
Doe one of them dudes.
And if
for sure. I'm not disrespecting Doe.
If he doing that though, you got Nas Reed.
Yeah, I mean, what we found out over Chris Finch's this season is that he's not afraid to bench a motherfucker. Like, he benched Anthony Edwards in a comeback game. He's benched Julius Randle multiple times this season. If Rudy Gobert is getting his ass torched, best believe Rudy Gobert won't be on the floor for the rest of that game, right? And then they also have some remnants of a small ball lineup too.
That's some of the things I've been thinking about. Is this? I think there's so many things you can pick on with them. Again, the Rudy Gobert thing with the small ball, we can experiment with that, see how effective that is. Then it's obviously just trapping Anthony Edwards and making Rudy Gobert, making Julius Randle, making these dudes like playmakers.
Mm-hmm.
And then like from there on, again, you're working on how are they going to guard us on the offensive end.
Yeah.
And I guess that comes down to what lineup they feel comfortable with putting out there.
We're going to probably see a lot of Jaden McDaniels on Luka again. Maybe see Julius Randle on Bron for at least a little bit until he can't do it anymore. And then, like, I guess we're going to see some Nas Reed play Bron. I'm just thinking about Bron's matchups. And then you're probably going to get Anthony Edwards guarding Bron occasionally as well.
I feel it looks like LeBron is essentially going to have the most favorable matchup. Like, he's never going to have an elite defender on him. Which is going to be like the first time in his year. It's probably going to be the first time in his career going into a playoff series where he doesn't have an elite defender on him. Now it's Luka.
But let's not act like anybody ever played LeBron straight up either, though.
No, but he's always had the best defender on him.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
Like, Luka's going to have the All-NBA defender on him.
I think we're going to have the ability to generate the shots that we want a lot easier than the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that can kind of help us on the defense.
Do you think that can play into the Timberwolves' hands a little bit if you're generating the corner threes to shooters that maybe the Wolves don't trust? Just thinking about Luka's game plan traditionally when it comes to like postseason stuff. Because if you're Chris Finch, again, you're not going to be able to take away Luka as a whole. You're not going to be able to take away LeBron as a whole. So if we can have Luka generate the open threes for, again, the Does, the Ruiz, the whoever it may be, the Gabe Vincents of the world.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. I mean,
I can't even imagine him taking threes right now.
For one, we've been pretty hot as a team. Like, Gabe Vincent's been shooting the ball really well. Rui has been. Dorian Finney-Smith. Even Vando, I think, in the last couple games, he's been able to knock down some shots. So that I'm feeling okay with. But, again, it's more so what I've been seeing from LeBron and Luka. Like, they take advantage of every type of defense you run. They're going to end up with good shots, and at the end of the day, you just got to be happy with it, I guess.
I think one of the things you said earlier that I agree with is, like, how they play Anthony Edwards and, like, just bringing that hard trap, bringing that double early on. He can be pretty sporadic when it comes to these type of coverages. Like, sometimes he does look like Luka Doncic, as he said. He's been watching Luka Doncic's film. And other times you remember, like, oh, yeah, this is not a guy that we've traditionally looked at as, like, a really good playmaker out of the pick and roll.
He don't really want to pass.
And
he wants to get that bucket.
I wonder how much they'll sell out to not give a fuck about a rolling Rudy Gobert, as he does have still really bad hands, even though he's been better offensively over the last month or so. That's like a shot. That's a person in a position that you want if you're JJ Redick. You want to see Rudy Gobert on a short roll with the ball because it's fucking Rudy Gobert offensively.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But on the flip side of that, I do wonder, like, could Rudy finally have a little stretch where his size matters offensively?
In the Mavericks series when they played the Timberwolves, there's a lot of times where they just kind of switched what they were doing on defense, especially the pick and roll. They would let Luka guard Rudy Gobert. I'm pretty sure they're going to have similar situation again. It's up to Rudy Gobert to take advantage, or he might have to get played off the court.
Yeah, I think one thing that the Lakers do have in their favor is that even if they were to, like, in a way, like, blitz Luka or whatever, they still have two really good playmakers and decision makers on the other side in Austin Reeves and LeBron
That's what
James.
I don't think they're gonna do that.
Like, if you were to try to, let's get the ball out of Luka's hands,
but then, like,
your second and third options are LeBron and Austin Reeves, who can attack and manipulate your defense, and it's just like that's why I was wondering. Like, I had
I'm also
earlier.
not blitzing with Rudy. Gonna take him.
He's a drop coverage big.
Yeah.
He plays up to the point on Steph Curry, right?
Yeah.
Luka Doncic is a great shooter too, but it's not the same level. I don't think you can. I mean, they probably experiment with every single coverage, but blitzing him right now is probably not the way I would do it.
I don't want to
either.
give LeBron. If I'm the Timberwolves, like, I don't want to give
4-on-3.
LeBron a 4-on-3.
Yeah.
Damn near Austin Reeves, I don't want to give him that either.
Do they concede the switch often? Because I remember in the Phoenix Suns series,
they don't want to do that either.
In the Phoenix Suns series, they concede the switch a lot, and that's how we got Rudy Gobert guarding Kevin Durant on an island, and him occasionally getting the stop necessary. But, like, Luka's usually not the guy you want to have
because he's
switch to the big, you know?
Yeah. Because then that's where he's the best at getting to his spots, is when he has the big and he knows he has the advantage.
It's also like this: how much does Chris Finch company trust the road man now that it's not Gafford?
But that's exactly what I was going to say. I would switch if I have to pick all of these options y'all saying. I'm not blitzing. I'm not doing that.
Because even Luka Doncic on an island, Rudy Gobert, a step back 30-footer is a good shot for Luka, but it's still not like
It's a bad shot.
It's a bad shot.
You live with that shot.
Yeah.
And if he so far in this season, he's had games where he's making it. Mm-hmm. He has games when he's not.
And he's also not getting around that corner as good as he was
But
last
that's why
year.
I said the screen is so important for him because once he gets that big, he's a lot able to get to those spots and get past and turn that corner. When he's got Jaden McDaniels on him, he needs that screen. But that's why that screen allows him to open up. And it's just like, if I hope that step back three is like, and it's so hard because it's Luka Doncic, he's gonna do it, but like the in-between game, once he gets the switch, is like undeniably just like efficient. It's effective.
The other part I like about the switch for the Timberwolves too, you don't like anything when Luka and LeBron and name is being mentioned, but I just don't know how much of a threat Jackson Hayes is to us
I think it's a big
defensively.
series for him too.
So not us. I'm just speaking if I'm Chris Finch.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you switch, we got a lot of help behind you anyway because I'm not really paying attention. And don't let us really see you on that floor with Vando. You could talk about, I mean, he hit a couple guys. Chris Finch and the Timberwolves don't give a
They don't give
fuck.
a
I mean, his
He
job.
used to play for their team too.
His
So
job not to hit them threes. His job is to be a spark plug energy guy.
He's one of the few guys you trust to guard multiple positions defensively as well. He's gonna have to get some burn.
Yeah.
and like
he has
KB
to.
said, with the Mavericks and Luka, you respect Doe, Gabe Vincent, Rui Hachimura. But I'm taking that over Bron Reeves, Luka.
Yeah. And we'll be doing a better job too. And this one, I think I came out last and I was like,
I hate that the
one of the
NBA's
last
become that
pods, and I was
simple,
just
but
like,
that's what
they
it's
get
been.
so many different shots for people. It's because not just Vando getting a corner shot, they find him on the baseline. They find him on, they find Rui on cuts. They find him like on these easy spots to just give him like easy bunnies and layups because they're drawing 2 to 3 people when they get to the paint.
Did y'all see Anthony Edwards also?
But that's why you do everything in your power to prevent them getting in the paint, like switching and having a guy not guard Jared Vanderbilt. If I'm not guarding him and he cut, he ain't doing shit but coming into me. It ain't like now if you're talking about Rui and Doe, you're gonna have to pay attention to them. You're not gonna drop that much, I would assume.
As long as they do a good job of eating up the space, then I think that like the rest kind of falls in place with Luka and LeBron. They're gonna find you. Offensive rebounds are gonna be there because again, bodies. Even if I'm kind of running to you, if you're not already matching me as I'm running full speed and going for an offensive rebound, I have the advantage right there. And for a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, he's
potentially.
going for the advantage.
Yeah, and I'm ultimately taking the Lakers.
Yeah.
Just because I think defensively, JJ Redick gonna get in his bag.
It's gonna be fun to see
The
him prep
rebounding
for
shit,
this
though?
for sure.
The Timberwolves got
They
Rudy
have
and
to
Julius
keep-
Randle.
Hey, they don't have no choice.
You can
but
say
to
whatever
kill
you
us
want to
on
say
the
about Julius
boards.
Randle. He's gonna rebound the fuck out of the ball.
They got to do that. They literally have to.
I think it's the toughest series for me to pick, man. All the ones I feel good about the Clippers. I feel good about the Knicks. I feel good about the Pacers.
I want to take
I
the
feel
Timberwolves.
good about going Lakers in this one.
I got
I want
Lakers
to take
in
the
6.
Timberwolves, but I'm gonna go to Lakers.
Yeah.
Sometimes how we did it with the Dame thing. Sometimes it's talent, man. We got Bron and Luka on the same court
Yep.
on the same team.
And JJ Redick been coaching his ass off from defensive schematic ways. And you
Did y'all see Anthony Edwards being like, I want the Luka assignment?
he can say that all he want, but I think it's just better for Jaden McDaniels. He'll have his stretches, I'm sure.
I think Jaden McDaniels is a better screen navigator than Anthony Edwards. And you know that
He
guy's
also
gonna get a
did
lot
that
of
when he
screens.
tried to do with Kyrie Irving, and then like, what was it like 20 minutes? It was like sometime in he just was like tired as hell, so he's like, nah, never mind.
Yeah, you kind of want to delegate that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder what role Mike Conley plays in this series. I think that's a big one as well.
I like the Timberwolves team a lot, though.
Yeah, same. That's why it's so tough for me.
I like the depth to be able to have a bench that's going to have Dante, Nikhil, and Nas. It's just
More than I want to see the Timberwolves win, I want to see Rudy Gobert win.
Yeah.
Get those Luka
I ain't gonna lie,
demons
I'm more
off your
scared of
back.
Nas than Julius Randle when it come playoff time. And
That's
that,
fair.
And that's just more so like he could just take advantage of matchups. I feel like a little bit more easier with the height. Like
Yeah.
Julius Randle
This-
can't be the worst playoff performer ever, right? He's gonna give us at least a series.
I think
eventually,
this
right?
is his most important playoff series of his career. Like,
Going
he
into
has-
a contract?
Yeah,
It's gonna be
going into a
different,
contract
too.
year.
now that
And
he's
I know he has the player option for $30 million, but like he can accept that. But teams are still gonna remember your playoff woes and be like, we don't know if we want to pay you 30-plus M's annually if we know you're not going to be there when it comes to the 16-game series that we need to win.
Well, he might play for the Suns next year.
One of the things I will say about Julius Randle going into the series is I think the last stretch of the season, it seemed like he finally found extreme comfort in his role. That's always the mixy thing with Julius Randle is like he has those moments, and he's still always going to have them where he just tries to do a little bit too much. But
yeah, because I was going to say, he doesn't. It's not
He's
like
kinda
this
bought in a little bit
it's
more
the
than-
all NBA season again where we need him to drop 25 and it's like the Knicks or whatever. It's just like, can you be effective on this team with us? Can you help us win?
I
And
think he'll
he
be
can do
able
that.
to. I just don't know how much, if it's going to be enough to win the series. But when you talk about taking some pressure off of Anthony Edwards, Julius Randle at his best can get it in that in-between, make decisions, bully. So if they're switching or you're trapping, and now you have 4-on-3, Julius Randle can make you pay for that.
Playmaking Julius Randle is probably one of my favorite versions of him.
Me too.
Because it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna impose my physical will on you, and anytime your defense helps, I'm just gonna make the
I'm
pass.
going to make the pass.
And
yeah.
it's gonna be the right play.
But to the flip side of that is when you have that, and this is something where J.J. Redick is going to be aware, if you allow Julius Randle to get going,
He gonna start trying to take over.
he's going to do too much. And that's when you talk about turnovers, charges, bad mid-range shots, and it just...
I need another one of the moments where he just threw that ball at Rudy like, head damn. I forgot that shit.
I'll never forget that.
Was that
yeah.
against the Raptors? That was against the Raptors.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the game was over and shit anyway.
He threw a bullet.
Bro,
From
he
so
threw
close.
a fucking Jameis Winston. Fucking,
Fastball.
oh, man, bro.
I'm going Lakers 7. Sorry, Minnesota. I want to go there, but it's fucking Braun and Luka.
I'll go Lakers 6.
Lakers 6.
I got Lakers in 6.
That's all the series that we know of right now. We can't do the 1-2s because we don't know who fall where. But man, playoff basketball, baby, this is going
Starts
to be
tonight.
amazing. All of those series is going. I think they could give us stuff. It's not a. Sometimes there's series you're like, oh, you can watch it because it's your job, but you're not really like super invested. I mean, maybe that ends up being Cavs versus whoever or Celtics versus whoever, but of the ones we know, man, I
feel like,
can see it
I've
going
been thinking about
the
it too.
distance.
Like, and there was a couple teams that's hurt, but we were right there to really having like 10 competitive teams on each side, right? I think like with the Pistons being a little bit better, it helped the Eastern Conference look stronger. The play-in looks weak as hell out there. Like we know they're not going to make any noise, but the West is getting to that point where it's like they should be 10 deep. You know, it don't matter who comes out through that play-in. They're going to have some type of competition with the 1 and 2 seed.
But at the same time, do we all believe that the 7-8 teams in both conferences are going to make the postseason, like the playoffs? Like you don't think the Kings or the Mavs or the Bulls or
There's
the
a
Heat are
chance,
going to
but
go on a run?
Bro, if I'm the Kings, why do I even want to make this? That shit's just an extra couple games in the play. We gonna lose them.
That's a good question. I don't know. The Kings,
We're about to trade
their pick
we're
is
about to
protected
trade
weirdly.
somebody that's probably gonna help us win this game.
the Kings can that's what makes the Kings, because the Kings could definitely just lose in the first game, but then they could win 2 games.
Yeah. I think the Warriors are making it.
Me too.
Outside of that, I'm not. I could see the Grizzlies losing.
Really?
But like,
I don't see
I
the
don't know.
Grizzlies
I just feel like there's
losing,
so much. I mean, we're talking about one game.
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
but
one
they're
game.
They
just
are
so much better.
They are better.
yeah, they are better.
But boy, you talking about you get a Zach LaVine, DeMar performance, Sabonis, Keegan Murray, like
And the Kings games always be feeling like they close.
always dramatic as hell. Late at night.
So definitely a good way to get ready for bed watching the Kings play ball.
Hey, do we playing late as hell?
Yeah, y'all, them and the Lakers.
I've never been to Sacramento. Any of y'all?
Nah.
Nope. I heard there's no reason to go. Unless you're literally going for a Kings.
What
game.
about you want to see the Bean?
The Bean? Oh, the Beam.
Yeah.
Well, they got to win the
You been
basketball
playing
game.
too much Schedule 1 with the Mega Beans.
Yeah.
Logan Paul on Raw last night said that Sacramento, the city that was not too cool to be where the people live that's not cool enough to live in LA, but not smart
Damn.
enough to live in San Francisco either.
Damn.
I didn't realize how small San Francisco is. Like on the map,
Yeah.
super small.
San Francisco?
Mm-hmm.
It seemed.
I love San Francisco.
I didn't think it was that small. I know it's small, like compared to LA.
We got like a transcript, it looks like, from Nico Harrison's interview already. Shout out to Mike Curtis, beat writer for the Mavericks. I'm not reading this shit verbatim, but he was asked about his response from the outrage of the fans. Well, the beauty of Dallas is a passionate fan base. For us to reach our goals, we need that fan base. And to be honest with you, every trade I've made since I've been here has not been regarded as a good trade. So sometimes it takes time. When I traded for Kyrie, it was met with a lot of skepticism, and it was graded as a terrible trade. You didn't see it right away, but eventually everyone agreed that it was a great trade. Or when I traded for Gaffer, or when we drafted Lively, oh, he gave up way too much. These guys aren't going to help us. Now that trade has more evidence.
The only reason why all that shit was good is because they had Luka Doncic. Like they needed somebody.
Fair, right?
They needed somebody else to take the pressure off Luka. They went and got Kyrie. People didn't like it because they were like, Kyrie needs the ball. Kyrie showed you that he could still be as effective, and they got to the finals. Gafford and Lively, you gonna think they're gonna look as good without Luka Doncic by them?
Not a chance.
So it's like, those are the right picks, but you made those right picks because you had the right guy.
Also,
That's
I think
a very good point.
this whole press conference shit is stupid as hell. I just think it's just dumb.
I can
If
just
you
read it real
if you
quick.
legitimately wanted to come out and address this stuff, to do it where there's no phones, no cameras, no nothing, it all just looks like bullshit.
I wonder how this guy got verbatim there, because these are quotes.
Yeah.
Was he writing? He's a
Yeah.
stenographer?
Yeah. Like, how do you? It seems like it's a way for him to be able to control everything that's put out.
So here's the next question. If he felt that he maximized the return from Luka,
No,
given that Mark Cuban said that they could have got a better deal.
it has to be no, right?
When you look at this trade, we targeted Anthony Davis. With our philosophy on defense wins championship, we wanted a two-way player to lead our team, and that was Anthony Davis. Everyone's going to have their criticism. I'm not sure what Mark Cuban said, but that's a better question left for him. But we got what we wanted. You didn't
maximize the asset because you didn't ask anybody but your best friend. And your best friend talked you out of getting a better deal.
The motherfucking Austin Reeves was right there. If you want to talk about okay, you wanted Anthony Davis, but you couldn't even maximize your trade value in the trade that you did.
That's
Yeah.
nuts. Because you probably could have got Austin.
You
and-
could have got Austin Reeves, bro.
and Max Christie.
Oh my goodness. So the next one.
And he also talked you out of getting less draft capital.
If he would do it again, given the reaction from the fan base, yeah, there's no regrets on this trade. Part of my job is to do the best thing for the Mavericks, not only today, but the future. He gave up the 26-year-old for the 32-year-old.
Who got injured immediately.
Some of the decisions I'm going to make are going to be unpopular, and that's my job, and I have to stand by it. One last thing, I also add that every trade I've done has been met with high scrutiny, so he's going back to the same thing he said originally. Okay. Harrison on how he sees himself in Dallas long term. Does he want to be the GM in 28 and 29? Yeah. I have 3 years left on my contract. I see myself finish it out. In terms of Dallas, this is my home, my family, and they're going to school here. We live here, and this is what I love. And that's all the quotes from this article so far, at least. When they said the meeting was an hour, hopefully it didn't take him an hour to say that bullshit.
I honestly don't even care to hear Nico talk ever again.
I kind of do.
I feel like every time he talks, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Like it genuinely does.
You on ass, boy.
Nothing he ever says lightens the blow or like makes it seem like it was any like. It seems like he just be talking. He just be talking. Nothing he says has any significance to it.
Because it can't. He put off the worst trade in history. There's nothing he can say that will make us be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He can say I'm sorry, and we still be like, I don't want to hear that shit.
Yeah. And it's like you also. I just don't understand the idea of. It seems so sketchy when you only talk to your best friend.
Yeah.
That's where it gets sketchy at. Like that shit just sounds weird.
It's gonna be a mystery for a long time.
Maybe
He only consulted his homie.
I wanted to bring this back up too because I want to talk about the Lakers Timberwolves real quick again.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a game plan if I'm the Timberwolves. Like I have to want to wear down Luka and LeBron, right? Like Nikhil's probably gonna get a lot of burn because we want to full court press Luka up the court. We want to take as much energy off him as possible, and not just like defensively we're gonna pick on him, but like offensively kind of too.
You went to Pistons, you was thinking about this.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Luka on your mind with your Okay.
I was thinking about the series.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you just have like you ain't never been there.
No, 100%. A lot of times we turn these cameras off. I'm like, oh, I got another point on that
Yeah.
topic. So yeah, it happens all the time.
No, he got another point because it's his Lakers.
Right. Also just came out. According to Sam Amico, he's been kind of fishy in the past, but we'll just talk about it conversely. The Pelicans ownership will mandate Joe Dumars to trade Zion Williamson. So I know we talked about it earlier, but according to this one report,
He will be on the move.
he's mandated to make that trade happen.
Oh shit.
So we'll see.
Interesting. Portland, make that phone call.
These
See,
are
when
the
that stuff comes out, now I'm
That's-
thinking like
Portland,
they probably
that's the
getting
spot, baby.
pennies on the dollar.
Right? Why make that public information? That's why it's like we talk about it because it's a rumor, but I'm not putting too much stock into it.
Yeah.
But it does make for good commentary.
idiotic.
I'm picking up that phone if I'm Artunis Karnisovas.
Hey, you never know. Maybe you could be the one that finesses.
Yeah, right? You know, you done lost a bunch of trades.
I feel like other GMs are aware.
That he's the guy to finesse.
When it happens so many times, it's pretty much, hey,
He got a hit, it looked like. He got one hit.
yeah. The Giddy thing is not as bad as people thought it would be.
He like designer. He's got one hit. That's kind of it.
Yeah,
Pierre
happened.
gonna know
Nah,
who
he
Zion
got a
is.
couple. He got a couple. hits.
Design got a couple?
The Timmy Turner.
Oh,
Yeah, Timmy Turner
a
was
hit.
one. Ain't one of them
was a hit.
bangs.
I forgot. You remember that, Darrick?
Timmy
Turner.
Turner. Yeah.
Here's it for a burn. That shit was kind of hot. So my fault, Design. I didn't mean to disrespect you. How about Sheck West?
Nah, he got a couple bangers.
Does he really?
Nah, he
Oh,
only
okay.
got Obama.
You can make a lot of money off of one big ass hit.
Sure can. That's why Mike need to get back in the lab.
Yeah, they saying I do only got one hit
Which song is considered your hit?
section.
Oh, okay. Okay.
They
Yeah.
said that was peak.
Okay. I can see that.
New music,
Don't
not
give
soon.
no. I was
but
about to say, don't give
not,
no time.
not soon, but coming.
That's Frank Ocean.
Yeah.
New music, not soon. But
you
I
know,
promise
hey,
you, it's
you know
coming.
where I've been getting some inspiration from though. P, you ever just be listening to shit? You be like, man, I need to start getting back in that booth.
Yeah, a lot. Who is it for you though?
Benny the Butcher. Not saying I'm trying to like
Imagine.
get off that style, but it's like, bro,
I
that
never thought you
motherfucker
would
be
say that.
spitting.
Mine
I
is-
felt that way for Fab. I've been listening to a
Motherfucker
lot
be
of Fab. I'm like, I
spitting.
gotta get back in
Mine
the
is
booth.
Big X.
Really?
When I listen to him, I'll be like, this could be my style.
Yeah, man. We've been trying to tell you to buy into that style forever.
For real, with the Rick
Not
Ross, told
his
you get into that
necessarily
Rick
style,
Ross
but
joint.
yeah, buy into your big fella swag. You want to talk about something? Ain't your boy crispy like McDonald's fries? Be acting for ain't saying that shit.
It's all about, I have to learn how to take my imagination and put it into words.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, because right now it's really just sex.
Yeah.
Big sex rapper here. He like
Yep.
Too Short.
Got ass out in Guatemala, and I always treat her proper.
He said, but I keep it on
And
her
your-
face.
And your,
Oh my God.
he said, "In your girl panties like the doctor."
What do you like, man?
He says she wear like morning dew.
Morning dew. Yeah, man.
That
I
boy
ain't
woke
heard
up
it
and
before.
said-
I ain't heard that before.
I ain't heard that either.
You got to put that in your archives.
What's your rap name? Your rap name should be Big Sexy Baller.
It really should.
That
Oh,
would be
that-
a raw ass rap name. Big Sexy
The
Baller.
big sexy baller
BSB.
tour.
I could see BSB on like some type of logo.
BSB
On the
is Benny the
chain.
Butcher.
It is.
Oh,
What's that for?
Black Soprano. No, he's BSF. Black Soprano family. BSB is Troy Ave. I'm sorry.
It's
Man,
taken. That's
take
all
his
that
shit. Take his shit.
Damn.
The rappers, you don't want to play with that.
Now, for real, you don't know what you're going
Oh,
to get
you a
yourself
scary
into.
ass rapper. I ain't know you was a scary ass
I ain't got
rapper.
security, so
You is
You
security.
are right. You are your own security.
true. Shaq said that too.
Oh, man.
He said he was his own security.
Because what are you going to do against Shaq? He don't even be walking around with nothing. It was like you just going to fight somebody or try to rob somebody that's 7'2" when he ain't got nothing.
True. Because he said he wasn't technically a celebrity because he don't have an entourage, he don't have security. He just operate normally.
Are we wrapped?
Yeah, we could rap.
Hopefully. Where's Austin?
You know he be gone.
One of my favorite things about rapping is trying to convey.
I be rapping, I be trapping, I be tapping. Y'all remember that?
That's from Scary Movie.
From Scary Movie.
So y'all just hate me because I'm black. The man was white as a ghost.
Do they still? They don't make new scary movies, right?
They
I haven't
they
seen
were
that in a
working
long
on one
time.
apparently.
They're working on one.
That's what I heard. That's rumors. I mean,
Bro, did you
Did
see
y'all
that?
I think
they
Casa
making-
that's supposed to be in it.
Did y'all see
I'm
if they
assuming
making
Drewski would have to be in it too, right?
a real life King of the Hill?
No.
No.
Boy,
But I watched it though. I seen they was gonna make a remake of Malcolm in the Middle.
everything
I
don't
saw
need
that
a
too.
remake and a remaster.
Bro,
That shit exists.
the
as
dude that
peak.
played Dewey, they said he seen him out in public, and like he ain't been out in public in like 5 years or whatever, because he went to school after the show. Like he didn't stay in Hollywood. Like he went into his personal life. And the comments is like, why the hell is y'all bothered? And like he literally went out of his way to get out of the public eye, and y'all just
found
trying to
him.
force him way back in. Because they
I
talking about the
never
remake.
watched the show, so I didn't even know who that is.
But that's
I was like,
Dewey.
the dude that's like the future's now, old man, on top of the
yeah, that's
basketball
Dewey.
thing.
Yeah, bro, he's got a.
You ain't watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Let me
You're
see
not
his
the
name,
boss
though.
of me now.
I know that.
You're
I know
not
the intro.
boss of me now.
I never was able to
You're
grasp
not
it.
I've heard his name so many
I
times.
never was able to grasp it growing up.
I've heard his real name so many times, but I always forget it.
The only Malcolm I know is from Malcolm and Ed.
That's Walter White.
Eric P. Sullivan. You never heard Eric P. Sullivan before? I feel
Fuck
like that.
no. I just
feel
know
like that.
Dewey.
I don't know. I feel like I've always
What was
heard
the
that
older
name.
brother name?
Like his actual name?
Always getting in trouble.
Reese.
Reese, yeah.
I know the kid in the wheelchair. I remember him.
Yeah. I need them shows back, bro. They ain't
All
never
right.
finna be the same.
Wrap up the show. I'll hit the button.
We appreciate you for tuning into this episode of Numbers on the Board. Make sure you to leave a like, leave a comment too. It helps the algorithm, and we will be back on
Let us know
Saturday.
your predictions as well. Y'all be trying to talk shit, but then y'all don't drop y'all's. Let us know.